Welcome along to the commentary hub here for this international friendly between the Netherlands and Denmark. I'm going to be presenting this one, so you'll hear from me again at half time. But your matchday commentator for this game this evening is a new voice on the channel as well, Josh Bailey. So we're going to hand over to Josh now because we've only got about a couple of minutes before the game gets underway, and he'll run you through that all-important team news for the Netherlands and Denmark. And where Christian Eriksen is going to be playing as well, whether he's going to be starting the game or whether he's amongst the substitutes for the Danes.
Yes, hello everybody, as kickoff is fast approaching us here at the Johan Cruyff Arena. And the team news for the Netherlands then, when it's Vlekken in goal, a new face in that goalkeeper net. It's then a familiar back three of De Ligt, Van Dijk and Nathan Ake. Dumfries and Blind as the two wing-back positions with a midfielder, Koopmeiners and De Jong. It's then Berghuis as lines up behind the two strikers of Bergwijn and Memphis Depay. For Denmark, then, again, it's a very similar lineup. Schmeichel in goal. It's Anderson, Vestergaard, and Nelson as your back three. It's Bart and Mahaley as your two wing-backs. Højbjerg and Delaney as your familiar midfield two. It's then Lindstrom and Wind as on up as the two behind Poulsen, who leads the line for Denmark today. As for the game today, then, well, it should be an interesting one. These two sides haven't met since Euro 2012 in any competition, and the Scandinavian side won 1-0 that year. Each of the last four friendlies between these two sides has ended level as well, so expect draws between them today. Netherlands then, well, as this is the first time these two sides would have been playing since the World Cup qualifiers. It was a Louis van Gaal side who secured a first place finish in that group after beating Norway 2-0 in November. Steven Bergwijn and Memphis Depay were the scorers that day, and they start today as well. For Denmark then, well, they were only 90 minutes away from a perfect World Cup qualifying campaign with 10 wins and 30 points. However, a defeat to Scotland in the final game denied Kasper Humlin's side of that. And in the end, they finished with 27 points. And the two sides will now line up then for around the pitch for a minute's silence or applause for obviously the crisis in Ukraine. Before the game, they lined up and showed their support for Ukraine. There's a minute's silence for Wim Jansen, who passed away then earlier this week. And the claps as they ring around the Johan Cruyff Arena. Wim Jansen, who was a Dutch professional football player and a manager, and he died on the 25th of January. So this is the first time that they've played and come together. He also played for Celtic and Ajax between 1980 and 1982. Made 7 appearances for Netherlands in the World Cup in 1978 and 1974. 7 matches in each of those, so 14 in total. And they come away from the semicircle then, Netherlands and Denmark, ready for this one, the international friendly between these two sides, both expected big things of them coming up in the World Cup, which, remember, is in October this year, not in its traditional summertime slot. Netherlands disappointedly knocked out in the Euro 2020 campaign then. And Denmark, who were the dark horses in that tournament, did really well to get to the Euro semi-final. And as was mentioned, as Mark mentioned, Christian Eriksen on the bench for the first time since his cardiac arrest in that tournament, and which obviously happened in Copenhagen in Denmark. And he's on the bench for the first time as Netherlands get the ball rolling then for this game. Should be a very interesting one then. Both these sides, Netherlands have their home record has been really good in World Cup qualifiers then. They've won 4 of their last 4. However, in friendlies, they haven't won at home since 2015. So that's a really contrasting statistic. Love it on the way in competitive matches. However, not so much in the friendly matches, as they're currently inside their own half, just playing around, feeling out the Denmark defense, seeing if they can find an opening. It was a great start. Fizzed the ball into Memphis Depay, looking to get on the attack early. However, they shepherd back into their own half. But here we go. Memphis Depay gets a touch away from the Denmark defender just outside his own box. However, Denmark managed to get it off of him. And now they start to get on the ball themselves. Try and rest the period. They've played it on a long ball. And it's really well controlled, and they've played it forward here, but it's a bit too long for Yussuf Poulsen, and then it's collected by Flecken, who is starting. The Freiburg keeper, not really a familiar face that you would be used to. Normally Sillison, who would be normally starting in that net. However, it is him. He was first called up to the side a few years ago in the third keeper, but today he does start, and he'll be wanting to make the most of his opportunities after a few impressive campaigns for Freiburg, who obviously play in Bundesliga. And it's Van Dijk now driving the ball forward, looking for a pass, gets it into the feet of Dumfries, who's then going to try and get it out wide to Lit on the right-hand side, who then plays it back in to Koopmeiners, just outside their own half, just gone in. De Jong takes a turn, drives forward now. Memphis Depay look to make that run, can't get off to him. There could be an appeal for Depay to be offside, goes for the shot, and fizzed it over. It was curling away, always going over. I think he was aiming for Schmeichel's near post. He didn't have a lot of time to get the shot off. He was onside, in fact, so maybe he had a lot more time than he thought he would. He was just inside his own box on the right-hand side, had a shot, but it was always rising. Not a lot of accuracy. There was power, but once again, that accuracy he looked over to the offside flag. But it's a great little play by De Jong. Get the ball in his feet, always looking to drive forward. It was a quick turn, drove forward, got the pass to De Jong. However, De Jong didn't have the finishing touch to it. And Netherlands once again have the ball here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds gone in the Netherlands. Denmark seeming comfortable so far. And as you said, they were last time these sides met, they did end out winners then, and that was in Euro 2012. Pretty interesting that these sides haven't actually met since Euro 2012. That's coming up to 10 years now since these sides actually competed in any sort of game, let alone a competitive match. And now driving forward here, it's Bergwijn. He's got a little bit of space. He's played outside to Bergwijn, who's dropped deep. And now on the left with Blind. He's going to look to get his cross in, but he's gone for the easy option for Bergwijn, who gave him the option. Now they've passed it to De Jong, still on the left-hand side, and give it that opportunity. And now it's Koopmeiners, but again, he didn't have the pass on Van Dijk. It's going to go from the shot from far out. Must have been about, 35 yards out, the centre-back going for the shot, but it was Schmeichel. Didn't really trouble him, straight into the arms of the Danish keeper, of the Leicester keeper, in fact, the long servant of Leicester, Premier League winner, FA Cup winner. And now Denmark could have the opportunity for an attack. It's Højbjerg looking to drive forward. However, there wasn't much going on forward. So he's played it out wide it was Mahili who played it out wide. And now Denmark on their own half. Just trying to let the game down. Just trying to get their foot on the ball. Haven't had much of it in the opening 3 minutes. And now driving forward is a Denmark centre-back. Vestergaard, I think it is. But he's dispossessed of it. And now Netherlands has their opportunity to maybe an attack. But it's given away by Memphis Depay. And Netherlands have the ball back now. It's been brought down. There was Poulsen who's been brought down. And Denmark get the free kick. Louis van Gaal, the Netherlands manager, they had an okay World Cup qualifying campaign, very up and down, but they did manage to get through in first place. And as I said, getting through with a win against Norway in November. But they're going to be looking to add more consistency to their side. You never really know what Netherlands team you're going to get. And after that disappointing Euro exit against Czech Republic, they're looking to right their wrongs and build up a little bit of form before the World Cup comes in November this year in Qatar. Obviously, due to the heat, they're playing in the winter this year, which some people may not be happy with. I know certainly that I'm not really. I prefer it to be in the summer. That's when the World Cup should be. And now Denmark, they have another free kick. They're able to win the ball back in Netherlands' half, and they've got another free kick to being the culprit once again for bringing Denmark down. And what will they do here? Will they look to play it short, or will they look to fire it in? They're not really getting bodies in the middle, so it looks like Delaney will look for the pass then, and he does, and he goes short. Back to Højbjerg, and now they're playing it. It's Nelson on the ball, goes out to Vestergaard, who tries to play it forward. Always looking to play forward, these two teams. Neither side sits back. They both like to attack and seize opportunities if they can from both. If they sense a weakness in either team, and it's Schmeichel now with the ball just outside his own. He's going to look for the pass. I think he's trying to play it forward onto the tall head of Yussuf Poulsen. And they've lost it. And now Denmark can go on the attack. It's a quick ball forward. Try to go in for Memphis Depay, but the ball's then gone to Bergwijn. And now it's De Jong. Going to look for the pass just on the left-hand side, just short of it. Going to drive in here. Going to try and drive into the box. Looking for the pass now out to Blind then. Out to Blind. That was Bergwijn. And now Blind on the left-hand side. Going to look to get the cross in. Does. Memphis Depay going to go for it, but he couldn't get there. And it's cleared away by Nelson. And now there's just a bit of danger then. Number 2, it was for Denmark, Anderson. And now they try and get away outside on the wide with Barr. But Blind shepherds it out, and it will be a Denmark ball. Blind doesn't think so, though. Arms up in frustration. Didn't think it was. He thought he got the ball. However, he hasn't. Now it's a Denmark throw-in then, just inside their own half. And it's another foul. Once again, that's 3 fouls already in this game. Then it's Yusuf Poulsen once again who goes down. Denmark will once. The only time they're getting the ball really is when they get a foul. Tactically, Netherlands they're quick to go to the ground, Denmark. And once again, they miss off the fall. But the referee thinks nothing on it. And there's an opportunity here for Denmark. They're breaking on the right with Bergwijn. It's going to be Bergwijn to get the cross in. The ball was a bit too heavy, though, on the right-hand side. He had to stretch through it. And there was no pass. He tried to get it for Dumfries. However, the Denmark were able to clear. And it's going to be a throw-in just shy of the corner flag. And it's now gone all the way out to De Ligt, who's passed it, sprayed it out to Nathan Ake on the left-hand side. And it's Denmark and it's De Ligt once again, seeing a lot of the ball in this first half. He's the man who likes to play it, him and Nathan Ake. But a lot of all 3 of the Denmark players, so the Netherlands players, then are ball-playing midfielders. And it's a bit short. De Ligt could be in trouble, but he turns out of it and finds Van Dijk, escaping that Denmark press. Netherlands once again, when they're finding that little bit of space, they're looking dangerous, Netherlands. And it's definitely the team who are showing a lot more energy than Denmark in these opening stages. De Jong plays the ball forward into Bergwijn. And now it's going to be Bergwijn. He tried to play the pass back. He could have gone for the shot. It was just outside the 12-yard box. And instead of the right-hand side, instead it's now out for a corner. They're going to look to kick it quickly. Bergwijn's gone over, does play it quickly to Memphis Depay. The ball was a bit hard, though, gets it lost in his feet. And now the ball comes all the way out to number 20. He's going to cross the ball in, but Denmark clear it. And then here we go again. Netherlands, once again, going to go on the attack here. It's out with Memphis Depay on the right-hand side. Weaving and wiring his way in, but Denmark deal with it well. But once again, Netherlands have it. And it comes out to De Jong then on the right-hand side, who plays the ball out to Van Dijk in the middle of the pitch, just down the outside of the semicircle. Comes out to De Jong once again, seeing a lot of this ball in the opening. Passes forward. It's a great little first touch. Now, what's he going to do here? Memphis Depay takes a touch round. The Denmark defender crosses it in. Bergwijn jumped for it. He was just a little bit short to get to it. It's now Dumfries on the right-hand side once again. Passes it short forward to Koopmeiners. And now it's De Ligt. Looks at the cross in. No one was on. Passes it forward to Memphis Depay, who gets hassled by the Denmark defender, Christiansen. De Ligt gets out of trouble. Gets it forward. De Jong looks to pass forward. However, it was short of Dumfries, and Denmark win the ball back, and they're going to look to get a little breather. And wrestling his way forward is Mahaley. Didn't get anywhere, though. He loses the ball. De Jong wins it back, and Netherlands will have the ball once again, and it's back to the keeper of Netherlands, and that is Flakken. He's pushed to the floor. Referee thinks nothing of it. However, Netherlands win it back, but it's cleared by Nelson. Gets there first for Bergwijn. It's touched down by Delaney, or at least he tries to. There's an appeal 4 on a high foot for Netherlands, and they win it. And as I just said, the Netherlands referee, the Belgian referee giving it, Lawrence Weiser. The assistant referee is Ryan Vanzery. Thiabad Nijisen, difficult one to pronounce, and then Nicolas Laforge, all Belgium nationals then. Now we're in the Netherlands half, just playing it around the back. Denmark pressing. They're choosing when to press. It's a very tactical press from Netherlands. They're not just pressing whenever they please. They're choosing when to press. And as for the head-to-head in this fixture then, well, it's 9 wins to Netherlands. They have the more wins in this fixture with 9 draws and 7 wins. So they're not shy of the total. It's traditionally a close fixture. It's 48 goals for Netherlands and 37 goals for Denmark. So as you can see, a lot of goals in this fixture. But these teams haven't really met a lot throughout history. And Denmark, they've got a bit of the ball now. The first time they've really had the ball, it's Højbjerg and look for a pass, gets it forward. Then it's a nice little flick on. But now Netherlands once again get on the break. It's passed forward by Steven Bergwijn. However, it's gone back to Denmark, but it's another loose pass, a lazy pass for Denmark then. And Netherlands are once in control of the ball, seeing a lot of this ball in this first half. And Denmark, they seem pretty comfortable. They haven't really created anything in this opening 11 minutes, then Netherlands. You think more of this ball, the more they can have to try and break their way through this Denmark defence, the more it may cave. And now a great little ball in to Bergwijn. Bergwijn turns in, goes for the shot, and it's a really good save by Kasper Schmeichel. It was Bergwijn who picked the ball up just outside the edge of the box. He feeded a short pass to Bergwijn, who looked like he was going left, turned his body right, and then just outside the box, dead center of the ball, just outside the box where the penalty box opposite to the penalty spot. He gets his shot in. He went for curl. Didn't have much curl, didn't have much power, and it was comfortable save for Kasper Schmeichel in the center of his goal. That's a great little play for Blind. Ooh, Blind who fed it in to Memphis Depay on the left-hand side. There was no real players around Memphis Depay when he fed the ball. I think he was a little bit surprised. Don't think he was expecting it. He went for the shot instead. It was a really tight angle again on the left-hand side. Should have probably gone for the cross, but he couldn't catch Kasper Schmeichel out guard, who was wise to what Memphis Depay was doing and matched it in his comfortable save. But a scary few minutes for Denmark there. And now they're going to look to calm the game down and see what they can do. But it's Denmark actually who had the best record, the joint best record in World Cup qualifiers. 33 goals conceded. That was joint with England. So they can see out games, and they're really, really good defensive record. But they are missing Andreas Christian and Simon Kjaer today, who are available for injury, which is why we see Nelson. No, which is why we see Nelson and Anderson in the defence. Anderson did start a few games in the World Cup, and here we go, Denmark getting a first bite of the cherry then. It's out to Mahaley, who tries to play a through ball to Yussuf Poulsen down the left-hand side, who tried to make a run in behind De Ligt, but De Ligt, he knew what Poulsen was doing. He knew where he was and able to get the ball around the edge of the box. He's played out wide. It's a lovely turn by Mahaley on the left-hand side, left-hand corner of the Netherlands box. Yussuf Poulsen plays it out wide to Delaney. Delaney tries to get the ball in, and I don't think it was meant for Poulsen, but then it comes out to Delaney, edge of the box, nice little turn by Lundstrom. He's going to look for that pass from the wing and wing-back's bar, but the pass just wasn't on, and they've been forced all the way back into their own half, Denmark, and they'll look to go again then. It's Pierre-Emil Højbjerg playing a deeper role, normally the ones that he does play for Tottenham. You know, he likes to play that deeper role when they're in possession. This Nelson has gone for the ball over the top to Anderson. He's in a fight with Blind. Let's see who can be strongest. Bar tries to get round him, but Blind, using his experience, been playing for Netherlands since 2013, knew what Bar was doing, and they have the ball back then, the Orange Army. Flecken then plays it out wide to Ake on the right-hand side, who hasn't seen a lot of football this year. He's only played 2 full minutes of the 90, and that were in the Premier League this season. And if you count the FA Cup, he's played 2 more against in their FA Cup match against Southampton. He didn't play a lot. I think he only played about 7 minutes in that match. So he's really struggling to find the time to play in that Manchester City squad. Just can't get his way in, can't get ahead of Laporte or Diaz. Will be interesting to see if he does force a move away from Manchester City, or whether he likes the money he's getting, whether he likes playing now and then. But you got to think, for the sake of his career, he might need to find a move somewhere else. But it's not seeing him stop getting into the Netherlands side. He's still a regular in this team now and then. Obviously, they are missing De Vries, who would normally play for Netherlands ahead of Ake. And now he's played it into the feet of Steven Bergwijn. Central goes up wide to Bergwijn, who now plays it to Blind on the left-hand side. Blind gets the cross in, finds Steven Bergwijn, and Netherlands have the opener in this game. It's Steven Bergwijn with another goal for the Dutch. He loves a goal for the Netherlands, doesn't really get any minutes against for Tottenham, but it is Netherlands who have drawn first blood here in the Johan Cruyff Arena, and the Netherlands flags are out in full force around the stadium. The ball came about, it came out too. The move started with Ake, fizzed the ball into Steven Bergwijn in the centre, who drove forward. He fed a ball out to Bergwijn, so then quickly played it out to Blind, who had a little bit of time on the left-hand side. It was a pinpoint cross, and it was Bergwijn, who with no men around him, no Denmark players around him, rose highest, and it was a lovely header, a sweet header into the top left-hand corner. Kasper Schmeichel had no chance, and it's number 7, Steven Bergwijn, with a follow-up goal. He got a goal in the last time Netherlands played against Norway, which secured their qualification, their World Cup qualification, and he's back on the score sheet once again. He loves a goal for Netherlands, and that could do his confidence a world of good as he struggles to get minutes for Tottenham Hotspur. And it's Netherlands 60 minutes in who lead first here, breaching the Denmark defence, the Denmark fortress that is normally so solid, so sound. But that's a lovely little goal, a well-worked goal for Netherlands. And it'll be Louis van Gaal will be very, very pleased with that. And that's a good time to score the goal. It's just shy, 16 minutes into this game. And really, you can't really expect Denmark to do much better. That was just a really well-worked goal for the Netherlands, who are now Denmark, who are trying to get an equaliser. It was a ball played forward by Vestergaard to Poulsen. It looks like what they're trying to do, trying to get it towards Poulsen, see if he can chest it down, and then runners around him. However, again, De Ligt, who's been wise, who's been equal to everything Poulsen has tried to do in this first 20 minutes. And Poulsen couldn't do much. The Netherlands, they'll be very happy. And it's now up to De Ligt. He's had a really good game so far. Been really good on the ball. As I say that, he gives it away. And now Denmark look to sniff blood like dogs with a bone. However, De Ligt comes to De Ligt, who plays it straight forward. But it's lost out by Bergwijn. And now Denmark could be on the attack here. It's Lundstrom looking to play forward. He's been fouled. And it's going to be a very, very interesting free kick for Denmark. They could look to create something here from about 35 yards out. Pretty much central, maybe just left. So just maybe a little bit to the right, but apart from that, it's pretty much central. The foul was by Bergwijn, who lost their ball initially, was worried that he could be the catalyst for a Denmark goal. And now over the ball, it's Lindstrom, the one who was fouled. He's going to look to cross, he's going to look to create something here. Denmark, who haven't really done much so far. It's Vestergaard, who's just jogging his way into the box then. And let's see what Denmark can do from this dead ball situation. It's Lindstrom standing over the top. He's going to look to cross the ball in. He's going to go for goal, it looked like, but it's hit the Netherlands wall doing its job, and now it's going to be crossed in by Mahaley. Looks at the cross in, and that is an equaliser for Denmark straight away. And it is Vestergaard with the goal, the Leicester centre-back. And it's just a switch off from Netherlands, and what a response that is from Denmark. And for Kasper Schmeichel's side, and the Netherlands away, and they're jumping up and down. It's a great response for them, and it's why the Denmark team, it's why they're so dangerous to play against. They never give up. The ball came out to Mahaley on the left-hand side of the box, and no one really challenged him for it. It's a cross in to Vestergaard. I think it was Blind who just got on the wrong side on Vestergaard. Didn't get round his man properly. It was a poor effort of a jump. And then there's got to be questions over the keeper for Flekken, who he's caught in no man's land. He wasn't really on his line, but then he didn't contest for the jump. And it was Vestergaard who had an easy header over Flekken's head. And it is Denmark who find an equaliser just 3 minutes after the Netherlands goal. 2 headed goals here at the Johan Cruyff Arena. And what a game we have on our hands. And now Denmark on the attack once again. It's Poulsen. So Lundstrom, who tries to hold the ball up. He's gone out wide to Bar. It's now Delaney. Plays it wide to Nonstrom again, and they're trying to get round the back here. Ake could be a foul. Isn't, and it's going to be a goal kick for Netherlands, who can sigh a breather because Denmark, they could smell blood there. And they will in search for their second. And Lindstrom, who's been at the heart of everything. Denmark have done well so far. The ball's always going for him. He's looking to create. And he's had a really good game so far, the Denmark youngster. He was actually born in 2000 then. So he's 22 years old. I think if my maths is correct. 18 years old. On the striker, there's no foul then. And now it's a ball into Bergwijn from Dumfries. And now it's a 2-on-2. Bergwijn is the right idea to play it into Memphis Depay. However, there wasn't the right accuracy on the cross. And it tamely is collected by Kasper Schmeichel. But you can see what he was doing there. He was out on the right-hand side. Looked to play Memphis Depay, who was in the middle. But the cross just wasn't good. But they're getting it straight away here. And it's Bergwijn's going to go for the shot. But it's a great save by Kasper Schmeichel. It was Denmark that gave it away. Bergwijn, I think, was really quick to get it into the feet of Bergwijs, who then maybe could have taken an extra touch, or maybe even played it in Memphis Depay. Went for the shot, was aiming for the right-hand corner, didn't get enough power, and then Kasper Schmeichel stuck a leg out, and it was a really good save. But things are heating up here in the Netherlands. Now Denmark, they go on to the attack, and it's a ball into Denmark. I think it was once again Lundstrom, the target. Lindstrom, sorry. However, they dealt with it well. Nathan Ake getting a leg on it, and it rolled into Flecken's hands then. It's a really good save. And now we could have an injury as Netherlands kick the ball out. Trying to see who that is. Is that Delaney the injuries too? Yeah, it is. He just fell down off the ball then. Didn't really see him with the ball. Shake of the head. That won't be what Borussia Dortmund fans want to see then. Seems like he's holding the back of his hamstring, maybe his left hamstring. Looking back on this second goal then, it wasn't playing by It was a loose ball for Denmark. I don't know who played it. I think it might have been Delaney who played the loose ball, went straight into Bergwijn, who took one or two touches and then was ushered by Nelson, taking the shot quickly just inside his own box. But again, he wasn't set properly. He lacked the power and the accuracy, really, and it only took Schmeichel to stick out a leg to stop the shot from going in. So he does not look happy then. Shaking his head, looking to the bench. He's got an ice pack on the back of his hamstring. Maybe it could just be a feeling. He's up. He's walking okay. So it should be okay. He has got strapping where the ice pack was. So it maybe indicates a previous injury to the player. He's going to walk to the side then. But he looks like just a grimace on his face. Talking to Mahaley, a shake of the head. That could be him done. And that is going to be him done. It's going to be a substitution then. Number 15. Norgard, the Denmark midfielder, who's going to replace him. He does not look happy, and that is not a good sight, especially getting injured in an international friendly. And it will be Norgard who replaces him on the bench then, the Brentford regular in the Premier League. And just a little bit more about Lindstrom then, the youngster. He played for Brøndby in 2017 and 2019, and then he joined Frankfurt in 2021. From Brøndby in the summer for 6.3 million. And as for his days at Frankfurt, when he's had 25 appearances, so he's been a regular in the league, and his call-up is deserved. 5 goals and 5 assists for Frankfurt then. 10 goal contributions. That's really, really impressive for Frankfurt. And actually in the Europa League as well, 3 assists. Really impressive debut season for Frankfurt. Then the youngster whose birthplace was Tastrup in Denmark. And again, born February 29, 2000, 22 years of age. Now it's after the break then. And there's going to be a foul here. Referee rushing over. I think maybe a clash of heads. Dumfries, he is holding his face. The referee blew the whistle for a foul. Wasn't a clash of heads. It was Dumfries. Nasty land there. He contested for the ball, jumped, and then he landed on his arm. That could be a nasty injury for his arm. He landed on it awkwardly. The Netherlands medical team are up. I think he looks a bit dazed, raises the eyebrows, Dumfries, but he seems okay. He looks like he's okay to carry on. The Inter Milan sensation. He's had a really, really good season for Inter Milan. Has actually been linked with Bayern Munich this summer in Italian paper. Linked in with Bayern Munich this week. Been really, really impressive and could become a key has become a key feature for Inter Milan this season. And they will want to keep hold of them after losing Hakimi in the summer. So they won't want to lose another right back. And now since the Delaney injury, Kasper Schmeichel plays it forward, aiming for Poulsen, but Van Dijk deals with it easy. And a lovely little backheel then from Steven Bergwijn. He tried to send Dumfries on his way, De Jong, but they dealt with it well. Nelson sticking it. And then that's a lovely. And now they're going to be on the attack here, Denmark. It's gone outside to number 19, to Wind then, who's playing sort of a false 9 position. But Denmark, they're alive to every single ball. Poulsen tries to take it past Dumfries. And now the ball is out to Mahaley, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Netherlands having to do the dirty work, having to get stuck in then. The two midfielders then of Cooper Myers and De Jong. Now as Mahaley tries to play it into the feet of Poulsen, and then they're trying to keep position here. Cooper Myers tries to get out. It's a lovely little Bergwijn then, contests the ball, tries to get it. But again, Denmark, they're just winning those 50-50 challenges, and they'll take the ball into their own half and reset and go again. Ball is currently with Højbjerg. He's played a lot of that deep line midfield. He's going to play a lofted ball into the Lindstrom. Into Wind, sorry, that was, but he couldn't get it, Wind. And now Netherlands have the ball. Just a little bit of a lull in this game then after the manic 5-10 minutes or so. And both sides looking just to rest a little bit, just reset. Both showing great attacking strength, but also both showing defensive frailties. And now it's De Ligt with the ball. Plays it to Van Dijk. And now it's to Nathan Ake on the left. Back into Van Dijk at the centre. He's going to choose the easy option of De Ligt. They're going to try and look there forward. De Ligt cuts into the left-hand side again. And now it's De Jong driving forward, looking to pass. Finds Memphis Depay, flicks it on to Bergwijn. And looks to go into the corner to Memphis Depay. Oh, he's been forced out to the left. And now the ball's with Blind, who's given it to De Jong. Now De Jong trying to find forward. Only gets to Bergwijn. And now finds Bergwijn then. Both strikers playing a free role. That's a lovely first touch. De Jong now plays it inside. This could be an opportunity. Bergwijn's going for the shot, but it's deflected. And outside for a corner. It was a lovely play by De Jong. He's been fabulous today with his passing. You can see what Xavi's having an effect on him. It was a left-hand side and about 30 yards out. Plays it into Bergwijn, who wasn't picked up. He was then in on the left-hand side. It was a narrow angle, though. He only had Memphis Depay in the middle, went for the shot, and it was blocked. And now on the left-hand side, it's going to be a cross in by Bergwijn again. It's a struggle, and it's a goal, and it's Nathan Ake who puts Netherlands back in the lead. He taps the Netherlands' chest, turns around, gives both fist pumps out in celebration, and points to Daley Blind. I think it might have been Bergwijn who got the cross in. It was a short corner once again that caused Netherlands the issue. It came out to Bergwijn on the left-hand side. Had ages, no one closing down in from the Denmark players. Crossed the ball in. It looked like there was a bit of a struggle. Kasper Schmeichel looked like he may be coming to collect it. Didn't. And then Ake headed it into an empty net. So it's Bergwijn on the left-hand side. Ages to get his cross in. And then Kasper Schmeichel hesitated to come and get it. But then it found its way all the way through to Nathan Ake, who was in between two players. He's in between Vestergaard and Mahaley. No one really jumped. It was a free header into the top right-hand corner. Ake, with a smile on his face, points to Bergwijn in thanks for his wonderful cross. And a man who was struggling in his own club in England for Manchester City is on the score sheet today, and he puts Netherlands back in front. But now Denmark straight on the attack. It's now Jufus Poulsen who got the break of the ball. He's going to cross it in, but he isn't. It's a poor cross in the end. Can't find Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who he's aiming for, and the ball kindly comes in to the Netherlands goalkeeper Vlekken. Now it's Bar who is bleeding behind the ear then. I don't know how that happened, but he's carrying on. No need to see. And that just shows how this friendly isn't even playing like a friendly at all. There's a real high intensity to this match. No team, no player shying out of the 50-50 challenges. And it's what you want to see for a friendly match. Too often in these games, in these international friendlies, teams, shy away from contact. They shy away from playing with 100% fitness and intensity just because they're scared of being injured. But not these sides. These two teams playing with the intensity you love to see. And now Netherlands in their own area, looking to play out. Denmark with the press, looking to win the ball back. It's now come to Memphis Depay, who has dropped as deep as the right-hand corner of his own box then. And Poulsen pressing that, and he's won well there as it's a loose pass who's been closed down by Poulsen. And now Denmark will win the ball back. It's Mahaney with a throw to Højbjerg. No real passes on, and he goes backwards to Vestergaard. And now he's going to play it to Nelson, who's in the middle of the back four. Goes out wide to the right-hand side to Anderson. Going to look to play it forward. Does. And now it's Wind who's going to try and win it, but it's Flecken who meets it and headers it out. But Denmark once again press, but Netherlands look to have broken that press. And now it's Bergwijs. Drops deep. The love line's a lovely ball out to Blind. Flicks it onto the right-hand side. Blind assessing what passes are on. Instead, he goes into Bergwijs. He's going to look to play a lofted ball into Memphis Depay. He gets there. No one really in the box so far. Finds Bergwijn. He goes behind on the left-hand side of the Netherlands area. Goes for the shot then. In their own area, I think it was Blind who ended up in his own place. Goes for the shot, doesn't find it. Poulsen then a flick round the corner as Denmark looks to go on the attack to Lindstrom. But AK is going to be equal to it. He's going to get there first. But Denmark will have the ball as he cleared it out. Some real good performances from both sides so far, especially on the Netherlands end. Bergwijs is playing really, really well for Denmark. And in the end, now it's Bar who is going to get treatment. It looked like he was okay to carry on. Bit of blood dripping on behind his ear. I think it's by the right ear. And the referee says, no, we're not playing on. I'm going to show us contact here. It was with Ake. The contact was, it was a head when he was challenging for it, trying to win the ball. And I think Ake headed it and caught Bar's ear, and then which led him to bleed. But Bar seems all right. He seems like he wants to challenge on. However, the players, they're not going to let him. And Bar then a right back for Slavia Prague. It's only his second appearance for the Netherlands. His first actually came against Sweden in a friendly in 2020, so he hasn't appeared for the Netherlands since 2020. He had a run of games in that period. He appeared on the bench in 2 of them, and then finally got his debut against Sweden. However, hasn't appeared in the Netherlands squad since that. The Denmark squad since that period. However, he's back and he's bloodied in his appearance. And now Netherlands with the ball. Pass up wide to Dumfries, who's going to look to get in a ball into Steven Bergwijn. No pass on, then turns back inside. It's going to be a ball in by Cooper Myers. Out wide to Blind. To the left-hand side, it's now Memphis Depay with a cheeky little flick to De Jong, who then looks to play it first time back in to Memphis Depay. However, the ball is cleared. And it's Nathan Ake who's going to pick up the pieces. Fakes going one way, turns around and goes to Nathan De Jong. Sorry, Frankie De Jong, not Nathan De Jong. Don't know where I've got Nathan De Jong from. It's now De Ligt with the ball. Deep into the Netherlands half here, the centre-backs. It's Nathan Ake goes up wide to Blind. All good things have come from the left-hand side. Denmark really struggling to do it. They're going to struggle with it even more with Denmark with only 10 men on the pitch so far. Bar receiving treatment off the sidelines. And now it's sprayed out wide to Dumfries. He's going to look to get the cross in. De Ligt's there if he needs him. He uses him. De Ligt maybe gets the cross in. No. Passes it to De Jong. Cooper Myers goes away for Depay, who doesn't win the header. He's matched by Anderson. And again, Netherlands, here they go on the left-hand side. Depay looks to get the cross in. Doesn't. Goes up wide to De Ligt. Just on the corner of the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, sorry. Cooper Myers looked to luff the ball in. Doesn't. Chooses the easy option of Frankie De Jong, who goes back inside to Memphis Depay, who's deep, like he likes to play for Barcelona. He's playing to Bergwijn. Looks for a quick one to Bergwijn. However, Denmark, they were wise to it. They didn't let the flick on happen, and now they have the ball. They look to play forward. There's a lovely forward ball from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to Lindstrom. Another foul is going to be awarded inside Denmark's own half to Denmark. Lost the ball, and now Bar is going to run back onto the pitch. Bandages wrapped around his head. This isn't a friendly. Both teams really going for this game. It's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with the ball. Players it out wide, just in their own half now. Denmark, they need to see something. They haven't really created much despite their goal. And the ball's now with Nelson. And they're always going to play forward, though. And it's Vestergaard back to Nelson. Has been forced into their own half and all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel, who maybe goes to launch forward. Going to look for a short pass, but he's going to be forced forward then to Poulsen, who's dropped really deep, but he's lost the ball. Frankie de Jong then plays it out against Depay on the right side. It's Bergwijn then just centre. Lovely little back. Memphis Depay 1-2. But that's great defending. And is it going to be a penalty? It could be a penalty awarded here. And I think it is. Kasper Schmeichel is adamant it's not. I thought he got the ball, but he was a late foot by Vestergaard, who's been awarded the challenge. And Netherlands have a penalty, 35 minutes gone, and an opportunity to double their lead. It was wonderful play. Memphis Depay, the front three linking up. We're going to see an opportunity here. Was it a ball? Vestergaard lunged in, got nowhere near the ball, and that is definite a penalty. It was smart from Bergwijn, just prodded the ball away, looking for a penalty. You could see what Vestergaard was trying to do, but it was lovely play. Memphis Depay on the left-hand side played a quick one in to Bergwijn, then who then went to Bergwijn. It was a 1-2 round the corner. The goal opened up for him. You thought it was a great last-ditch challenge from Vestergaard. However, they caught Bergwijn. And now it's going to be Memphis Depay. An opportunity from the penalty spot to put Netherlands 3-1 up here. Places the ball on the spot. Checks his spot, checks the boots, the typical penalty routine. Kasper Schmeichel getting the debriefing from the referee then. Memphis Depay, who is normally the penalty taker for Barcelona, has scored all his penalties so far for Barcelona. And now he steps up to the spot. Looks away from the goal. And here we go. A short run up then. Kasper Schmeichel. Will he be equal to it? Depay shoots and it sends Kasper Schmeichel the wrong way. Wasn't central, but it was more to the right-hand side. And Memphis Depay tries to grab the ball. Kasper Schmeichel pushes it up. And the Dutch flags ring around the Johan Cruyff Arena once again. And they now lead 3-1 on the night with about 8 minutes to play here. It was cool. It was collected for Memphis Depay. He doesn't normally miss his penalties. He's only missed one for Barcelona. He's only missed one. He's only missed two for Netherlands in their World Cup qualification campaign in 2021. In a 4-2 defeat to Turkey, he missed a penalty and a 6-0 win. Against Gibraltar, that might be. Yes, it is. He also scored a penalty. He also missed. Apart from that, he scored against Montenegro in a 2-2 draw in a World Cup qualification campaign. And also in a 6-0 win against Gibraltar. He missed and scored a penalty in that game. And Denmark with a mountain to climb now. It was a wonderful play from Bergwijn. It was a wonderful play from the front three who've been liquid in their link-up play today. There've been some real mouth-watering stuff from the three. Typical Denmark football. Now it's launched forward to Memphis Depay. Denmark win the ball, and now it'll be Barr with the bandage around his head. Plays a 1-2. He's going to look to play forward as Lindstrom makes the run. He's gone short to Wind, who's been fouled. The referee plays forward. And he hasn't gone back to the advantage as the Lit won the header there. And now it's Dumfries who has the ball in his own half and back to Flekken in his own half. And Denmark will try and press. They'll try and win the ball around. And they've lost the ball there. It was a audacious attempt at a back heel. And our hands are all over Norgard there. But the referee doesn't pull the thing. There's now Barr on the right-hand side. A lovely little 1-2. He's going to look to pass forward. Goes backwards then to Højbjerg. Plays forward to Norgard. It's now Vestergaard in his own half. It was a bit heavy for Højbjerg, who controls it. And they've ended up going backwards. Nothing on forward as the ball goes to Nelson. Just at the kickoff spot then. He's been fouled there. Really clever play from Wind. Got his body in front of the Lit. And the referee blows for a foul. A lot of fouls then for Netherlands are being very physical. Not letting Denmark have a moment's rest on the ball. And Denmark go again. They need a second goal, but they haven't really created much today. And it's a lovely ball forward, but it's a bit too long for Poulsen, who may have pulled up. He's holding the top half of his groin then in pain. He's limping a little bit. It was that run he pulled up, but he's back in a jog, still holding it a bit, but he might be okay. And now Netherlands back with the ball in their own half, out to Blind. De Jong always looking to pass forward and does. It's a lovely little 1-2 between Bergwijn and, Depay and Koopmeiners. But they've won the ball back, Denmark. They won the ball back, and then they're dispossessed once again. time after time. And now Poulsen is on the floor, shaking of head. He knows he's in trouble, and that could be Poulsen's afternoon done. 2 injuries for Denmark in the first 40 minutes. Really unfortunate injuries. One a hamstring and one a groin here. And it'll be interesting to see who Denmark bring on to replace Poulsen. Probably will be Kasper Dolberg. And it wasn't that run. It was a ball played through by Vestergaard. Poulsen made the run. However, it was a bit too heavy. And in the processes of that, he pulled up short. And then once again, it was an injury for Delaney in the opening 20 minutes. It's really unfortunate for Leipzig and for Denmark. And the Denmark manager, Kasper Hjulmand, probably can't believe what he's seeing here. This Poulsen then. Maybe he might carry on. Or will he come off then? Maybe no needs to risk him if he is feeling a little bit injured. Doesn't seem any substitution that's going to come on just yet, so he might just play on for the time being now. And it looks like he will be okay, Poulsen, for the time being. Looks like he will carry on. I know he's not. And it is going to be a substitution then for Denmark now. And who's it going to be? Let's just see who we're trying to work out who it will. But for the time being, we will play on then. And it's Ake, central, just coming into his own half by the semicircle. Plays it into Berghuis, who's going to look to play forward. Always looking to play forward here, Netherlands. Berghuis sprays it out wide to Daley Blind on the left-hand side. Comes back into Frankie de Jong infield. Frankie de Jong, no pass there, turns back, plays into Memphis Depay, who's going to look for the pass onto Blind, who makes an overlap. Blind nowhere to go. Bar equal to it. Depay tried to play it in to de Jong, but couldn't. It was a little bit short, and there was a wrestle for it, a battle for it between the Netherlands and Denmark players. Denmark come out winners, though, and now they'll try to break. Højbjerg plays it out wide to Vestergaard, but there's nothing on, and Vestergaard will then turn back and give it back to the Tottenham player. And it's Yussuf Poulsen then, who was actually coming off the back of an injury. He was questionable for this game. There was doubts on whether he will start, and he was injured against Mainz then. He hasn't actually played since he played in the Europa League a bit, 22nd, but yes, it's not coming off an injury, my bad. But I know he did have a fitness problem surrounding him. And he's come off the back for Frankfurt. And has really struggled for goals recently. Hasn't scored in a long, long time. Hasn't scored since I think he scored he scored 1 goal. Hasn't scored since the 2nd of February then. He scored 5 goals in the Bundesliga this season. Hasn't scored since the 2nd of February. In the Bundesliga. And the Netherlands, they'll try and see this game out until the half time. Just playing it around in their own half. It's the Lit then with the right-hand side, playing forward to Dumfries. Sorry, Steven Bergwijn, but it's a heavy touch. And now Poulsen, who came on, will come off. And it's going to be for number 11 then. For Denmark, and that is Skov Olsen, the youngster. Who plays for Belgium's side, Club Brugge. I'll say youngster, 22 years of age, still pretty young. And let's see what impact he can have. But there you go, Denmark, real bad news, losing their main striker. Interesting, they didn't bring on a more experienced substitute like Kasper Dolberg, and opting for the future. And opting for Andreas Skov Olsen, who's had an interesting campaign for Denmark. 4 goals and 4 assists for Club Brugge in 7 appearances. So that's really, really good to see then really doing it. Eight goal countries in 7 games, so it's really lit up. But here we go, Netherlands winning the ball back in their own half. Memphis Depay tried to find Steven Bergwijn, couldn't, and now Denmark goes to break it. Skov Olsen on the ball, but he's dispossessed, unfortunately, and now Netherlands winning it back. Put it into Memphis Depay, who's dropped deep and dropping deeper. Plays it out wide to Cooper Myers, who then just shows it out to De Jong, and there'll be 3 minutes added on time. Can Netherlands add to their lead to make it 4-1, or can Denmark nick one back in the 3 minutes that are added on here? Brilliant. Going to look to get the cross in. Does. Finds Steven Bergwijn, who maybe looked to the flick onto Memphis Depay. It doesn't. Denmark finally win that ball. And now Netherlands will recycle it in. Comes out to Nathan Ake. He finds then Frenkie de Jong, who again looking to fight forward. That Xavi, that Barcelona mentality being installed into him by the day. And now they've all been ushered into their own half then. Denmark pressing them. And it's then the Netherlands goalkeeper with the ball. Flekken. He's going to look to play it short. He will play it short to Nathan Ake, but then it's immediately pressed by Olsen. And then he lifts it over Olsen and back to Ake. Wonderful play there. Cool and calm on the ball, Flekken. And Ake lifts one forward. Not enough on it, though, and Denmark win it back. But they've nicked it, and they're going to be on the break here. Can they do? Memphis Depay with the field at his own. He looks like the Netherlands, Denmark have got back well there, and the field has been shut down, and he's had to retreat backwards then and pass the ball to Frenkie de Jong. Mr. Depay loves to drop deep, and that Barcelona connection between him this time, Frenkie de Jong, we see it so often for the Spanish side, for Xavi's team, Barcelona. But it just seems like Netherlands are happy with the lead they've got so far. You can play it out, and it's Van Dijk who plays, raises it out wide to De Ligt. There's a short one to Dumfries on the right-hand side, and he lost control of the ball, and it's going to be a Denmark throw-in. It's them in their own half. Let's see what they can do. They're out there. They've got out to the left-hand side to Bar. He's going to look to drive forward. He's going to look, but he's had to be forced backwards again. Not a lot of forward passing going on for the Denmark. It's Norgard then back to Bar, who's just on the halfway line, and they've gone all the way back to Nelson with about 40 seconds left on the clock here. Nelson plays it forward. Great ball over to Olsen. It's a wonderful first touch. Take it away from Ake. Goes back to Bar on the right-hand side. Then to Norgard, to Højbjerg, who plays it back to Norgard. He plays it forward to Olsen. It's back to Bar. Maybe he's going to try and get the cross in, but he's back to Højbjerg, got offered himself up. Then it's Olsen. He's going to try and drive forward. Nice little bit of footwork, but can't go anywhere. Michael Højbjerg was behind him, and it was the right idea from Bar. However, Olsen wasn't on the same wavelength, and the ball goes out for a throw-in, and that should be half-time then, in what's been a thoroughly entertaining half of football here. Denmark, and that is the final whistle then, when it was Denmark who came back on Netherlands. Netherlands taking the lead just after the opening 16 minutes. Steven Bergwijn with a headed goal. They responded 4 minutes later, though, straight away. Vestergaard, in what was a bit of poor keeping them from Flekken, caught in no man's land. Wasn't coming to collect it. Wasn't on his own half. And Vestergaard equaled the scoreline. It was then Ake who got with another headed goal, retook the lead on 29 minutes, 9 minutes later after the equaliser, and then Depay from the penalty spot doubled their lead to make it 3-1 after Berghuis was taken down from a clumsy challenge from Vestergaard. The score then at the Johan Cruyff Arena is Netherlands 3, Denmark 1.
Thank you very much there, Josh, for a brilliant first half coverage as the Netherlands are rolling back the years there to the years of total football with a dominant first half performance thanks to goals from Bergwijn, Ake, and, of course, Depay as well. Vestergaard grabbing a goal for the Danes to put them level for 9 minutes as well. But obviously, from then, Netherlands were able to go on and grab themselves a couple more goals and grab themselves, a foothold in this game for the remaining part of that first half. Just going to run you through a few scores as well from today. International friendlies. It was Republic of Ireland 2, Belgium 2. So a good result there for the Republic of Ireland with Bean and Brown on the score sheet there, with Batshuayi and Vanaken on the score sheet for the Belgian side, I should say. England, of course, were victors over Switzerland as well, having to do it from behind with Mbolo scoring the goal for Switzerland, and then Shaw with an absolute thunderbolt of an effort and a Harry Kane penalty. England's 100th 100th successful penalty, I should say, as well, scored by the captain there. Currently, it's Spain 2, Albania 1. Torres Garcia and Olmo Carvalho just grabbing a last-minute goal there by the looks of things, as Usani looked like he'd got a draw there for Albania, but wasn't to be. At half-time, it's Germany 2, Israel 0, with Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, the two Chelsea men, on the score sheet in that one. Also, a couple of other sort of scores from international games today. It was Croatia 1, Slovenia 1, and Finland 1, Iceland 1. Also, India 0, Belarus 3, and Qatar 2, Bulgaria 1 as well. So that's how the international friendlies have panned out. And of course, that Spain game against Albania has now just come through as a full-time score as well. Also, we had some Football League games over here in England as well. Accrington Stanley were beaten at home 2-1 against Gillingham. As were AFC Wimbledon, they were beaten at home by Cambridge United. Doncaster were beaten at home as well by Charlton. Those two both a goal to nil, I should say, win for the away side. Ipswich won 1-0 at home to Plymouth Argyle. So good victory there for Ipswich. Of course, Plymouth Argyle were going strong as well. They still are going strong, fourth in the division, and Ipswich sitting just outside the playoffs in ninth at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday were 4-1 victors over Cheltenham Town, so a great victory for them, and a couple of goals as well for Luango, Gregory, Hunt, and Byers, who are all on the score sheet in that one. As Sheffield Wednesday move up into the playoffs at this time of asking. And then, of course, Shrewsbury beat Lincoln City as well in the other game by 1-0. As for the League Two results, I'm just going to jump down to that division. It was Bradford 0, Newport 0. Also, there was games that took place. Carlisle and Bristol Rovers was a 1-0 victory in favour of Carlisle. Colchester won 1-0 against Tranmere. Crawley won 1-0 against Rochdale. Steve Evans is Stevenage side. His first game in charge of Stevenage ended in defeat against Exeter City in controversial fashion, in fact, as well. But Stevenage went down 2-1 at St James Park. Leyton Orient were 2-0 winners over Barrow. So Barrow, of course, themselves are still in the relegation fight as well. Northampton Town, 2-0 winners over Hartlepool. Oldham Athletic, it was heartbreak for them as Mansfield Town came from 1-0 down to grab a 95th minute winner in that game through George Lapsley after Oates had made it 1-1 and cancelled out Keeler Davis's goal. Of course, that doing Stevenage the word of good, that one. As for the other games, it was Port Vale 2, Sutton 0, Salford City 2, Walsall 1, and Scunthorpe 0, Harrogate 3 as well. So a couple of scores that have just come through there in regards to that as well. That Spain game is full-time, as I already mentioned. So just going to look back on this game with Josh as well now for a moment. And, I said it just, when you threw to me there, this Netherlands sides were very, very dominant in that first half, weren't they? And rolling back the years to total football as well, when a real strong performance and dominant performance from them. I think Josh is still away at the moment, so we'll try and get him back in a minute on that question. But if you just let me know when you're back there, I'm just going to quickly run you through some scores from the National League. In fact, while I wait for Josh's return, it was Aldershot were beaten 1-0 at home to Auchenham. Sorry, away to Auchenham, I should say. Eastleigh 0, Stockport 2, Grimsby 2, Dagenham 1, Kingsland 2, Halifax Town 0, Maidenhead 1, Barnet 2, Notts County 1, Chesterfield 1, Torquay 3, Weymouth 0, Wellstone 1, Bromley 1, Woking 2, Solihull Moors 3, Yeovil 2, Southend 0, and of course, game of the day in any division, really, by the looks of things, Wrexham 6, Dover 5. Yes, you did hear that one correctly. It was Wrexham 6, Dover 5, and it was a 97th minute winner to make it 6-5 because of Dan Jarvish, I should say, there, scoring that one for Wrexham. In an absolute thrilling game there for Wrexham, who, of course, sits second in the division, just behind Stockport at the moment. And Dover, of course, still sitting there in minus points on -4. And, of course, there's no way for them to be anywhere but down this season. So to even give an account of themselves this good in a fixture, of this magnitude against the side who are destined for good things in Wrexham as well. And Wrexham, of course, looking to bounce back into the Football League as well. So good account of themselves there for Dover, although they were beaten on the day. I'm going to try and bring Josh back in a minute as well, just to have a little bit of a say on that first half there. But, just when the way that I've looked at it, I think Netherlands have been very, very dominant. And the Danish defence have sort of struggled to handle them at times. And, they, of course, gave the penalty away for the third. But I think, when you look at the stats in this game, just going to have a little look here now, it has been all Netherlands, really. 61% possession to 39, 10 shots in favour of 2, and then 7 on target. And, of course, Denmark only having the 1 on target, which, of course, nuzzled into the back of the net by Vestergaard. And then 3 corners to 0 and 7 fouls against the Netherlands and 3 fouls against the Danes, of course, one of those being the penalty as well, which Memphis Depay did score from. So, of course, very dominant and strong-looking performance there from the Netherlands. Of course, Denmark have lost a few players to injury as well, with Nørgaard having to come on and Olsen having to come on for Delaney and Poulsen there. So they've not just lost a couple of goals and losing this game, but they've also lost a few key players there as well. At the same time, so looks like things are going from bad to worse at the moment for the Danes, and of course, it'd be interesting to see whether Christian Eriksen gets any minutes in the second half, whether he gets onto the field of play, and of course, Kasper Dolberg's also on the bench as well there. Another option for them to bring on, but we'll see whether that's something that the Danish manager does decide to go to in terms of those 2 substitutes in the second half. I think there's 6 subs that are allowed by each nation as well, if I remember correctly. So even though they've lost 2 players to injury there, they've still got 4 available, I believe, the Danes. And the Netherlands, of course, have got quite a lot of talent on their bench as well, the likes of Klaassen and Wijnaldum, also Weghorst as well, the Burnley man, and Donyell Malen as well. So lots of talent there. Dan Yuma as well. So I'm going to try and come over to Josh once more now and just get a little bit of a rundown if you are there, mate, because that first half, the Danes have, really tried to, the Netherlands have really tried to get at the Danes, and it's working for them as well. Then the Denmark side are struggling to deal with them right now. Looks like Josh is still away at the moment. So apologies about that. I'm just going to see what other news we've had. Of course, England do play again on Tuesday as well against the Ivory Coast in another friendly. And we are looking to bring you a game on Tuesday as well. One of the games in the World Cup playoff finals. We're not too sure which one as of yet, but we will confirm it with you when we know, as we are going to be certainly going to try to bring you one of those games. And updates on England's game against the Ivory Coast will be coming through as well. Alongside Paul James will be myself for that one. I'll be bringing the updates for England's game against the Ivory Coast, and Paul will be the main man on main comms for the one of the World Cup playoff finals. But we'll confirm with you when we know which one. So hopefully we'll get those out to you. Of course, we've sorted out for some other action to be brought on the channel as well. We've got our FA Cup semi-final coverage all sorted out, so we're going to be bringing you both of those games, the game between Manchester City and Liverpool, and also Crystal Palace and Chelsea as well. We're both going to be covered on TC Hub channel, so FA Cup football is certainly going to be coming to you as well in the not too distant future. We're also sorting out some Champions League games as well and everything like that. A few Premier League games for when that returns as well. The next one of those being the game between Crystal Palace and Arsenal, I believe, which I'm going to be bringing myself. So look forward to that one. And if that one's anything like the game that I brought earlier in the season, the 2-2 draw, then that one's got a lot riding on that one. Of course, with Arsenal trying to get into the Champions League, and Patrick Vieira obviously will certainly want to get one over his former employers as well. Of course, Arsenal captain for many years, going on and lifting many titles and FA Cups, etc. And they want to try and get one over the Gunners and Mikel Arteta. So look forward to bringing that one. Of course, it finished 2-2 thanks to a late, or very late goal, in fact, from Alex Lacazette last time out at the Emirates between those sides. So, of course, look forward to bringing that one. We will have lots of games actually being brought, because we've got the women's games being brought by Nicholas as well, and plenty more. So hopefully we'll be able to cover quite a lot of football throughout the remaining part of this season, and going into the World Cup as well. When it's going to be weird, as Josh said, to have the World Cup taking place in December, like November, December sort of time, and be obviously a bit different to be having your Christmas dinner, and I think it's like the World Cup final around about that same sort of time. So, one thing's for sure is that the Italians won't be there, having lost to North Macedonia in the week, but that certainly works in teams like England and even the Netherlands' favour as well. So, I'm going to try and come to Josh again, because I think the two teams should probably be coming out in a minute as well for second half. So, I want to see if I could get a little bit of a rundown on everything that has happened there from Josh.
That's class.
In the halftime interval.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half for Netherlands and Denmark. 3-1 is the score at the half-time then, and it was goals from Steven Bergwijn, and then it was an equaliser from Yannick Vestergaard as well to equal that score line. However, the scores didn't remain as they were. It was Netherlands who drew next blood with Nathan Ake on the 29th minute to make it 2-1. And it was Memphis Depay from a penalty after Bergwijn was brought down in the box. And that meant that we were 3-1 up at half-time. What a great half of football then. It was really high intensity from all over the pitch. And it was, like I said, it wasn't a friendly match. It was played with a bit of venom, a bit of passion. And as we saw, with two injuries from Denmark and an injury as well, and a head injury from Bar. He got a bit of blood in the back of his ear, behind his ear. However, he was okay with a bit of bandaging right behind that. And as I said, with these injuries then, it was Poulsen who came off at half-time, just before half-time for Skov Olsen. And then it was Delaney who came off in about 24 minutes for Brentford midfielder Christian Norgard. Well, the teams, they just come out into the tunnel then. Denmark with work to do. They've not really been at the races so far. They've played well, but as the looks of it is Christian Eriksen, who will be coming on for the first time since his cardiac arrest in Euro 2020 in June. And what a special moment this is going to be. What an emotional moment this is going to be for the Brentford player. Stepping on to the pitch, stepping on in Denmark colours, represented his country at a time where he maybe thought he would never represent his country once again. However, today he will do so again. Another change for Denmark is Ram Christiansen, who is also coming on the right back to replace Bar. And it's Christian Eriksen gives his water bottle to his Denmark coaching staff and comes on for Jesper Lundstrom in an aim to change this game. And it's a round of applause from the Netherlands fan. Claps ring around the Johan Cruyff Arena, all of them on their feet to welcome Christian Eriksen back into international action. He claps back, he receives the round of applause, and Louis van Gaal as well clapping in what is a very emotional moment for everyone involved in the Christian Eriksen family, in the Denmark family, and in the Netherlands team as well. And we're underway here for the second half. Denmark with their backs to the wall with work to do. Let's see if they can turn this game around. And Christian Eriksen with the ball straight away, pings it forward. And he's found his way forward to the substitute. Christiansen, however, Van Dijk deals with it really well and is able to clear it out. It's going to be a throw-in just inside their own half then. Anderson going to give it to Nelson. He's going to pass it out to Vestergaard. Inside their own half, just a little bit, about 30 yards out from their own goal from Kasper Schmeichel. And it's Nelson. He's going to look to go out wide and just pan it around. Really need to work away in. And Christian Eriksen can be the man to do his creativity. He can create something from nothing. He's so talented. He's one of the specials of this game, but they've lost the ball straight away, and it's Frankie de Jong winning the ball back, and it's now out to Daley Blind. He's going to go all the way back to his keeper then, the Freiburg keeper, Flecken. He's done a short 1-2 with Van Dijk, and he's got the ball back, but they're pressing. It's a rogue ball, and he's only been dispossessed here, and they were closing him down. It was Lundstrom closing him down, but however, they've won the ball back. And that's Nelson inside his own half. It's a lovely 1-2 with Anderson. And then Daley Blind who got a foot and he rolls out for a Denmark throw. But it was nearly there for Denmark. They were smelling blood in the water, nearly got the ball back. However, the Netherlands, they got away with it by the skin of their teeth. And now it's the centre-backs of Denmark who once again have the ball just inside their own half. Played it forward, a lovely ball to the fullback there. The substitute, Christiansen, controls it really well. He's going to look to get the cross in. He's got Skov Olsen on his side. Played a lovely 1-2. It's a good ball in. Now it's inside his own product area. Pulls it back to Christian Eriksen, who scores on his debut. He's playing back for Denmark. It's only taken him 2 minutes to get on the score sheet. And what a magical return. Vestergaard gives him a hug, an emotional hug. It was a wonderful finish. And he celebrates his teammates. Denmark fans in jubilation, and what a magical moment that is. This is why we love football. It was wonderful play between the fullback of Christiansen and the substitution, Skov Olsen. He breaks away into the box. Daley Blind was slow to it. And just as he's in the box, just on the line, he pulls it back. It's a great pick out to Christian Eriksen. He pulls it back on the floor, and there he was from about 12 yards out, and he picks out the top left-hand corner beautifully. Couldn't get more top bins than that. And Christian Eriksen, on his return to the Danish team, scores. That is an absolutely beautiful moment. And as I said, this is why we love football, because it produces moments such as that. And Denmark are now right back into this game. And they have the whole of the half to find an equaliser. And it was the 3 substitutes linking up for Denmark, talking about making an appearance, eh? And now, Denmark with the ball, going to be pushed forward with Vestergaard. Plays it forward. A great little first touch by Wind, who then finds Norgard. Thought he might have played it short to Vestergaard on the left-hand side. Doesn't. Now a little 1-2. And now it's Nelson in the middle of the centre-back. Plays it forward once again to Christiansen, the full-back. Controls it very well. He's giving Blind an absolute nightmare. Gets it out to Wind then, who plays it to Christian Eriksen a bit forward. And Christian Eriksen makes a run down the right-hand side. However, the ball was cleared out. And it's out for a Denmark throw-in. And now, out to Skov Olsen. However, it's a poor pass. The Netherlands win the ball back. It's Frankie de Jong playing it back to Memphis Depay, who's dropped them deep into his own half. And he's going to try and drive forward. Picks out a wonderful ball to Bergwijs, who turns back and then finds Frankie de Jong, who then gives it out to his midfield partner, Koopmeiners, who then finds all the way out to the wing-back Dumfries on the right-hand side. Netherlands in their own half, searching to restore their 2-goal lead. What a poor start for them it is in the second half. They had a 2-goal lead. They just need to control this game. They're on the opposite that. They switched off. Bin switched off. Their centre-back switched off. Allowed Christian Eriksen time in the box, space in the box to get his shot off. And he punished them like he always does. Like the quality of player he is. He still hasn't lost that magic touch that he's got. And it's gone all the way back to the keeper. Netherlands their own half. Playing about for their centre-backs. They've done a lot of this. It's not Koopmeiners. Gives it to Frankie de Jong. About 30 yards within their own half. Frankie de Jong looking to the pass forward. Always looking to pass forward the Barcelona midfield and never backwards. He might be forced to this time. Still not. Still, he's got Ake there. Still not passing it to him. But this time he chooses Ake with a loose touch. Lets the ball roll behind him. And then also chosen him down. Not with much effort. And they've given it to Flecken. Flecken with time in his hands. He's being closed down though. He's played it out wide to De Ligt. De Ligt then launches the ball forward to Bergwijn, gets his body in front of Nelson. However, Nelson was strong and he's lost the ball. And now it's played forward. Lovely first touch. Let's see what they can do here. Christian Eriksen outside to Norgard. Has to turn back though. Tries to play it into the feet of Wind. And it's a loose touch. And now Bergwijn straight through the flip. Through the feet of a lovely little nutmeg. And now Netherlands are on their way. Went for Bergwijn. It was a loose pass though. It was a bit to his left. Too much on it. Had to out-muscle Vestergaard, He gave him an opportunity. However, it wasn't that. It was actually Memphis Depay with the challenge. They went one-on-one strength. And that's a lovely play by Bergwijs once again. And it's out for the throw-in. And No, it's the Netherlands. Sorry, not throwing. It's Netherlands corner. It's going to be crossed in by Berghuis, the free kick taker. See what he can do here. Memphis Depay, maybe he's got it to play it short, but it looks like he's going to try and whip it in. 2 short corners for Netherlands so far, and they've caused them. It's another short corner to Memphis Depay. Berghuis runs around him. He's going to look to drive into the middle. Denmark, not Christian Eriksen, not giving anything away, but loads of time here for Koopmeijer if he wants it to cross it in. But he's played it back into Berghuis, who then on the edge of the box on the right-hand side, it's a deflected cross, and it's another corner for Netherlands. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Already had a 1 goal. Christian Eriksen on his return to Danish football with the goal. It's a ball in. Berghuis. It's an in-swinger. Van Dijk, De Ligt, all in the middle. It's a great ball in. Van Dijk, he was there. He was aimed for him, but it was well cleared away. And now it's all the way back onto the semicircle and with Frankie de Jong. Plays it to his left of Blind. He's going to look to go back in field, and he chains it back to Frankie de Jong. And he's found Koopmeijer, and he's sprayed it all the way outside to the right-hand side. Not much room for a cross, though, and it's a loose pass. And Denmark, Vestergaard's got time to do what he wants. But it's a poor pass straight back to a Netherlands player. And it's now Memphis Depay. 1-2 with Koopmeijer. Plays it to Frankie de Jong in the middle, about 40 yards out. Frankie de Jong trying to outskill his way, but he plays out to Blind on the left-hand side. He cuts back inside to the deep-dropping Memphis Depay. Plays it forward to Berghuis. Tries to get it to Bergwijn. 1-2. It's a lovely back heel. And this could be a wonderful goal for Netherlands. That is well matched by Kasper Schmeichel. It's a 1-2 between Steven Bergwijn and Berghuis. It's a lovely back heel from Steven Bergwijn. They got a little bit of fortune with the deflection, which then found its way to Berghuis, who then had loads of tight hand space. He had to wait the ball to come round to him so he could hit it with his left foot. And when he did have time, he didn't really hit it with much power. Didn't get much of a connection. And Kasper Schmeichel was equal to it with his right leg. But they're going to have another corner here from the left-hand side. It's another short one. Berghuis plays it in. But it's well dealt with by Denmark. But it goes to Frankie de Jong once again. Daly been on the left-hand side. He's got Memphis Depay for options. Said he's going to play it short into the middle for Dumfries. It's Blind. Outside to Memphis Depay. Goes back inside to Berghuis. And now it's Bergwijn. Maybe he's going to try and get his way in. It's a good cross in. But it's well dealt with and well cleared. And now Denmark could be on the break here. However, it's well sussed out by de Jong. He's been fantastic today. And there was a contest between Bergwijn and Wind. But Bergwijn came out on top. And now it's Bergwijn's chance to drop deep, and he goes all the way back into the Netherlands half to De Ligt. And it's going to be a recycle opportunity for Netherlands. Reset and go again. De Jong outside to Blind, just inside his own half on the semicircle. It's a lovely straightforward ball to Bergwijn, but his control was loose, and Denmark have the ball back. And then it's a rogue pass from the fullback there of Denmark. Christiansen, I don't know what he was aiming for. He rushed it really, and there was no one around it. And he's given the ball straight back to Netherlands. And another chance for Netherlands having to bite the cherry and see if they can find that fourth goal. Memphis Depay did make a run, but Koopmeijer didn't really see him. And the trumpets and the drums are out for Netherlands. It may be a friendly, but it's sure he's not lacking atmosphere here in the Johan Cruyff Arena. Netherlands just trying to find their way through here. They're not forcing the ball. They know they've got that goal advantage. They're letting Denmark make the mistakes and then picking on them. They're all the way back in their own half now on the right-hand side of the box. And they found Blind. But Blind with a loose pass has given Denmark an opportunity in their own half. It's a great pass to Wind. But it's another loose touch. No foul, though. The Netherlands players look for a foul. That's not. And it's going to be a Denmark throw-in. A lot of loose passes going around in the second half. Both teams, I don't know whether it's the friendly, the second half of that friendly. Now the Mexican wave going around the Cruyff Arena, and that throw-in has found its way to Ake. Another loose throw-in, another loose pass. They really need to concentrate here, Denmark, to find their way back into this game. And now it's Christiansen, and it's Wind, and now he's played an opportunity here. It's all the way out to Eriksen on the edge of the box. Eriksen, he was brought down. There's appeals for a foul. However, the referee says play on. No foul. Now it's de Jong's opportunity to drive forward. Fires Memphis Depay. He's had to turn round. Well ushered there by the Netherlands defender. But however, they're still able to advance forward, Netherlands. Now it's going to be a sprayed out to Bergwijn. He's got a little bit of time and space, and he's driving forward into the Netherlands box. Blind on his left-hand side if he wants it. Cuts back inside to Memphis Depay. Thinks about the shot. Goes to the shot. However, it didn't trouble Kasper Schmeichel. It looked like it was dipping. However, it was dipping a bit too late, and it goes out for a Denmark goal kick. Yeah, it was rising and then it just dipped, but it was a bit too late. But however, he did have a lot of time on the edge of the box, and you don't want to give Memphis Depay that time all the time, or otherwise he will punish him. We're going to have a substitution here for Denmark. It's going to be Kasper Dolberg to come on, number 12. Who for yet? It's not clear. Maybe Wind, who's been leading the line. That would make a lot of sense. And Denmark in their own box have spread it out wide. It's a great flick on by Christiansen. However, Van Dijk is the first one to it. Didn't really cause much danger. And back to the keeper they go once again then. And it's Flecken. Why he's on the ball then? He actually had the league's best shot rate in 21-22. And that led to his call up into the Netherlands side last year, where he was third choice keeper. And he's had 87 shots saved this year. That's the sixth most in the Bundesliga. And here we go. Denmark, they've won the ball back here. It's Norgard, didn't have much to go. And Denmark back in their own half. Seen a lot of this. Nelson driving forward. He's found Wind. It's a lovely 1-2 with Eriksen. Eriksen's going to look to find Wind. It's a lovely weighted ball. However, De Ligt was wise to it. And he got to the ball first. And now it's Frankie de Jong. Tries to get forward. He's set on his feet after an initial foul. The referee played advantage. And then he called for the foul. And Netherlands are not slow to use their chance to use this ball. However, it's deflected. A Denmark leg blocking it. And it's out for a Netherlands throw-in. And who is it going to be Kasper Dolberg for then? It's going to be Kasper, yes, for Wind then, who is coming off. He's had an okay game today, Wind. He's not really had much to do. He's not really had many opportunities. And he comes off. A round of applause from the Denmark bench. Jonas Wind then, who plays for the Bundesliga club Wolfsburg. An okay season for them. And now Christian Eriksen, he's found Højbjerg, who tries to get his way forward. However, it's brilliant defending for Van Dijk. There was danger there. Van Dijk smelt it. And now Netherlands are on the attack. It's Berghuis charging forward. Goes out to the right to Dumfries. Berghuis has made the run around him. There's opportunities. Memphis Depay in the box. And Steven Bergwijn. He's gone back to Berghuis on his right-hand side. Not many options. And it's out to Cooper Myers, who then finds De Ligt, the centre-back, who's played forward. It's out wide to Dumfries. And the danger, Denmark, they dealt with it well. Really wasted opportunity for Netherlands there. It's de Jong driving forward. Lovely pass to Steven Bergwijn. Great strength from the Tottenham winger. And then he's using the easy option. He's gone out wide to Cooper Myers once again, who's given it to Dumfries and then giving it straight back to the Atlanta midfielder. And it's De Ligt straight back to the Atlanta midfielder, who joined Atlanta in the summer from AZ Alkmaar, who obviously are the Netherlands team. And now we're just on the side then, on the halfway line then. Great ball forward to De Ligt. A snapshot there, trying to get it forward, get the ball moving forward quickly. Berghuis sprays it out wide to the left of Blind. However, there's not accuracy, and that was a dangerous header back by Christiansen, the right back into Schmeichel's arms. However, they did it well. And now he's played it forward, aiming for Dolberg, and he's controlled it really well, but not without fouling Van Dijk. Referee deeming there that it was a foul. And Netherlands will get the ball back. Now de Jong driving forward. His own half, nowhere to go though. Looks out in frustration, back into a walking pace. Not really many options for Netherlands. They're not really playing with the same high intensity that they did in the first half. Berghuis has picked up a pocket of space, tried to go to Bergwijn, who passed it back. However, it was a poor pass. Luckily, Netherlands still had the ball though. It's with Van Dijk at the moment, just inside his own half. Just playing about amongst the centre-backs at the moment. De Ligt to Van Dijk, who's then trying back to de Jong, the same pattern of play than the Netherlands have gone through for the past 10 minutes as they try to make inroads into this Denmark midfield, this Denmark defence, this Denmark team. At the moment, they're having no luck. Again, the team that only conceded 3 goals in the whole of qualifying. That was joint best with England. But Denmark are actually winless in 13 away friendly matches, which is ridiculous. There's a great ball play forward there from Memphis Depay on the right-hand side, but he's actually out the penalty box. Really good defending. Cuts back inside. Finds Bergwijn. 1-2. Back to this Memphis Depay, but the ball's found its way into Dumfries. Gone for the shot. Really well blocked. There's still an opportunity there. Hands are on offside. Bergwijn cuts back inside. Loosed his body. Dummied the player to go back real tight angle. However, it's well cleared by Denmark. And Netherlands go again here. It's out to Cooper Myers. De Ligt. Cooper Myers once again. That was a really good opportunity. Lovely play between Memphis Depay and Steven Bergwijn once again on the edge of the right-hand box. You thought the pass wouldn't come off, but they go drilled straight forward. Memphis Depay 1-2 with Bergwijn again. Bergwijn now with the goal at his mercy. Plays out wide to Blind, who's going to cross it back in, aiming for Bergwijn or Memphis Depay. Cut it back across with the cross. But now Denmark are on the break. Bursting forward here, it's the pace of Slov Olsen. Ake's done really well to match him though. And then he's been brought down by Cooper Myers, and that will be a Denmark foul. He holds his chest. That's really good place by Slov Olsen, but he was matched so well by Nathan Ake. He's a quick centre-back. You knew that he would be able to match him, and he did. Didn't let him get out of his sight. Didn't let him break stride. He was able to marshal him in back inside. And Denmark get away with one there, because if Slov Olsen, he was away, it could have been real danger for Louis van Gaal's side. But it's Slov Olsen with the ball once again. It was placed straight into his feet from the centre-backs as a loose touch, and that gives Netherlands ball right straight away. Cooper Myers plays it forward to Memphis Depay, running down the left-hand channel, shifts his body inside. Now that's brilliant turn on Memphis Depay now, running on the left-hand side. He's on the wall, he's gone for the shot, but it's smashed by Schmeichel. The angle was narrow. He lacked pace. He was off balance a little bit as the ball got away from him, and you expected Schmeichel to make the save there. But what skill that was from Anderson, to get away from Anderson, turn right, turn left. Then the field just opened up for him as he shifted Anderson away from him. Then on the left-hand side, but there we go, Netherlands on the attack again. It's Bergwijn goes for the shot. He had Bergwijn and Depay to his left and right. However, he's dragged the shot wide, and there was no trouble there for Schmeichel. But just going back to that Memphis Depay chance, then he got away from Anderson, turned inside. The goal seemed to break away from him, and he just had a bit too much speed for Nelson. However, his third or fourth touch was a bit too heavy. The ball then got away from Memphis Depay, made the angle narrow, and then he just was off balance, didn't get the speed on it. And then on the left-hand side, like I said, it was an narrow angle. He got his shot off, but you'd expect Schmeichel to save that. And Denmark breathed to live another day. There's Nelson driving forward outside the defence. Plays it out to Norgard, just a little 1-2 with Christian Eriksen. A lot more tempo to this Denmark play. Christian Eriksen now with a bit of space in front of him. What will he do? He's going to look for pass like he always does. Not really much on it. That's a lovely ball, though, to the right-hand side to Olsen, who's got a touch away from Van Dijk. But as he always does, he's strong, he's quick, Virgil van Dijk, and he just shepherds Olsen out with just ease. And it's out for a corner. You thought for a second there, Olsen would be able to get around Van Dijk, but we forgot who he was. In the end, the final touch did come off Virgil van Dijk. And let's see if Denmark can do anything from the corner here. The first corner of the game, and it's going to be Christian Eriksen with an outswinger from the right-hand side. Vestergaard has already scored a goal in this game from a header. Willie had a second to his tally. Good ball in. Aiming for the front post. It was Vestergaard. It was Anderson who came running across. Couldn't get his head around it. And it's going to be a goal kick to the Netherlands. Anderson then, who's enjoying a fruitful campaign with Crystal Palace, who reached before the international break this cup semi-final, the FA Cup semi-final. They'll be on to Wembley. Anderson will be on his way to Wembley in his second Premier League campaign, played for Fulham last season, who Fulham also seem like they'll be on their way back to the Premier League as well this year. And a short goal kick they've opted for Netherlands. They're going to look to play her out. Dumfries, it's an awful pass though, and it goes straight to Højbjerg. With a loose ball, Højbjerg wins in and gives it back to Vestergaard. And then goes all the way back round to Mahaley. Haven't seen much of in the second half. Everything's been down the right, been to Christiansen, been through Olsen. That's where the danger's been, and that's where the Denmark second came from. The fullback and the winger linking up. Højbjerg, who's been the deep line midfield of this midfield team, always collecting the ball, always there. Nelson again looking for that long ball. It's always been on, but when you've got Van Dijk and you've got De Ligt in your team, but that's a really good ball. Christian, it's Olsen in again. He might be offside, but here we go on the right-hand side, bearing down on goal. That's really good defending by Ake, but then somehow he gets the shot off. Had to hit it first time, and it's wide of the post, of the left-hand post. He might have been offside. There was questions, but no, I think he might have been De Ligt who was keeping him on there. It was a great ball by Christiansen, and Olsen turned the corner. He was bearing down on goal, then for the right-hand side, he was always coming in on goal. And that gave back. Oh, and there's been a dangerous opportunity there. Freaking living life on the edge. Getting pressed by Olsen, but he manages to escape there without a scar. But no, it was a ball in by Christiansen, the right back, onto the right-hand side. And then it was it was Olsen, who's been so dangerous in the second half. He got away from Ake. And just as you thought he was going to get the shot away, Ake managed to get his body in front of the shot. However, he somehow deflecting out from Ake, and Olsen, with his quick reactions, was still able to get the shot off with his wrapping his body around it. The angle was never kind to him, and with him to wrap his body around it, it went wide, but that was a great opportunity and a great creativity from Olsen to get the ball away. Great reactions. But now it's Netherlands. Played it into Dumfries on the right-hand side. He's got a bit of space. Tries to cut it back, but it's a deflection. Great defending by Vestergaard. But somehow the ball's come out, and it's come to Steven Bergwijn, who shot a little bit deeper on the right-hand side. And now it's Cooper Myers. He's going to look to get the cross in. There's no one there. Billind was the target. However, it's well dealt with again by the Netherlands right-back. And now they're going to try and break. Dolberg looks for the foul. He gets the foul. Ake was a bit too hands-on approach there. It looked like a foul, and it was a foul as we approach the 66th minute. Denmark with 2 goals so far, and they actually scored a lot of goals in their qualifying campaign. One of the highest scorers in the World Cup qualification. Actually, the tally of 27 points was the joint highest in UEFA qualification. Only Germany matched that. And here we go. Dolberg manages to turn Van Dijk. You don't see that often, but somehow Van Dijk hits it. They've played play on though. It's out to Olsen on the right-hand side. It was a foul. Who's cut it back to Dolberg, who's then gone to Christiansen a bit behind him on the right. It's now Højbjerg. They're going to go back in field. But 1-2 in Norgard. Thought about the forward pass to Dolberg, but instead went back to Højbjerg. Has then played it back to Nelson, who's got the ball straight back Højbjerg. It's Norgard. Tried to play the 1-2, and somehow he's given it to Olsen. Linking up really well. Now it's Dolberg, and now a little bit of space. Norgard, Christian Eriksen back to Norgard. However, Norgard's just missed it, a bit too much on it. And the Denmark centre-backs have it. Will be a great ball. Dolberg with a bit of space. He's giving it to Christian Eriksen. What can he do? Mahai making the run. He's going to look to cross it in. Christiansen's in the middle. It's gone back to Eriksen. Thought about the cross. So there wasn't enough time. It's now Norgard. Back to Christian Eriksen, who plays it on to Norgard, who's made the run on the left-hand side. It's well shepherded by Dumfries. He got across quickly. Just as you thought it was going to have to play, he managed to get it across to Christian Eriksen, Norgard. It's now Højbjerg going to look for the forward pass. Finds Dolberg. No one around him. Dolberg now looks for the pass. No one's really on. He's going to have to go out wide here to Olsen. Olsen on the right-hand side, just on the edge of the box. Goes back to Dolberg. Looks for the 1-2. Out to Christiansen, the right wing back. And then plays it to the edge of the box to Højbjerg, who then finds Christian Eriksen. What do you think about the shot? Hooks it forward. It took a deflection from a Netherlands body, and that stopped Olsen from getting in there because he would have had a one-on-one with the keeper. The keeper would have been closing him down. And they've played it forward, and Nelson's won that battle with Memphis Depay on his own halfway line. And Denmark will now get it back to the keeper. All Denmark at this stage, they're really up in the gears. They're up in the tempo. They're hunting for that third goal. They can smell Netherlands are weak. And Denmark, you wouldn't be surprised if they can find that equaliser. But that's a really bad pass to Nelson. However, they escape one there as it goes straight back to Kasper Schmeichel with Ake, who tried to control it. And Denmark with the ball. It's now Christensen going to try and burst forward the right wing back as he cuts inside field. Goes outside to Olsen. He's made a run. Olsen has found him. Olsen gone straight back to Olsen and then played it forward to Kasper Dolberg. It's a 1-2. Back to Olsen. Found Højbjerg, who seems to always be there if a player's ever in need. Dolberg turning into space. Then finds Højbjerg and then cuts back inside. He's going to look to find the centre-backs. Doesn't. Goes forward to Christian Eriksen. And then first time flicks it back to Vestergaard. He's received the ball back. Plays it forward to Mahaley. Mahaley turns back inside. It's a lovely 1-2 by Christian Eriksen Mahaley, but the touch was heavy, and De Jong's done really well there to win the ball back. But then it's a loose pass, and Denmark have the ball back. But then there's a clash in between two players. Christian Eriksen with the heavy pass. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he thought Dolberg might have been making the run. However, he went short, and Dolberg could control it, and Netherlands win the ball back. 20 minutes to go so far in this game. Denmark with all the ball, Netherlands controlling it, and they're looking to continue their form, their wonderful form since they were knocked out of Euro 2020. They've collected 17 points from 21 since September. They've responded to that heartbreak in Euro 2020 with some real tough, exciting wins. And now we have De Jong driving forward, gets away from Norgard, and then he plays in. Steven Bergwijn has got a little bit of space on the left-hand side, cuts inside! And that is a wonderful finish from Steven Bergwijn, who does his trademark celebration and gets his second goal of the game. And he might have got Netherlands home and dry in this match against Denmark. It's now 4-2. Steven Bergwijn, the Dutch flags are out. It's a pool of Dutch flags around the Johan Cruyff Arena. It's a wonderful goal. De Jong drives forward from his own half. He finds Steven Bergwijn, who has a little bit of time on the right-hand side. He looks to cut inside. He isn't closed down quick enough. And he shouldn't be given that opportunity to cut on his right foot. But he is. It's poor defending from Anderson. But he's still got a lot of work to do. And he curls it beautifully into the right-hand corner, the top right-hand corner. Kasper Schmeichel had no chance. That's a brilliant goal from the Netherlands. Great play from Frankie de Jong. And an equally great finish from Steven Bergwijn, who now has 2 goals under his belt. He's started where he left off for the Netherlands, again scoring a goal against Norway. And with that second goal for the Netherlands to bring them, the 4th goal for the Netherlands to bring them in a 2-goal, and it looks like they're going to make a triple change, give some of the youngsters an opportunity here. But that should be game over. And after Denmark have dominated a lot of the ball, with a blink of an eye, Netherlands are back in front here. Do they deserve it? Maybe based off their first performance. Denmark have played really well second half. And that was just a devastating counter-attack, a devastating drive. But still, they're not giving up here. Kasper Dolberg takes it around one of the Netherlands defender. Great play. That was the wrong pass from Olsen, but somehow they've still got it. He plays out, finds Christian on the right side. Got a bit of time. Finds the shot. And that is grazed the left-hand post. It goes across the face of the goal. It might have been a shot. It might have been a cross. Mahaley was there in the middle. All it needed was a Denmark player to get a touch on it, and that would have been a goal. Denmark, they're not over yet. They're not lying down. They want something from this game. It's going to be a cross from the left-hand side. An in-swinger. Let's see what they can do. Raises their own Christian Eriksen. Crosses it in. Who rises highest? Goes all the way through, and it's going to come out to Norgård, I think that is. So Mahaley on the right side. Can't get the cross in. Netherlands got across well. And he's gone all the way back into their own half there with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. That was a wasted opportunity for Denmark. But what an opportunity that was. It was great play from Kasper Dolberg. Just got past his man like he wasn't even there. And then you thought the opportunity had gone when Olsen picked the wrong pass. However, it found Olsen once again. And they're on the attack here. Right-hand side. Christensen to Olsen. Olsen got a little bit of time to get the cross in. Goes low. Dolberg leaves it. I think he may have got the shot from the man behind him. But he didn't find Christian Eriksen either. Christian Eriksen, touch in tight space, going to go for the shot here, and it hits the post. Christian Eriksen here with his second goal of the half. That was a great shot. It was swerving from left to right, very similar to the goal he scored against Chelsea in the 3-1 win for Tottenham at Stamford Bridge. He received the ball. It was a great little touch to open the space up in front of him. He went for the shot, lashed it, hit beautifully. And curl, it wasn't really a swerve, it was a curl. And it's walloped the post. Dead centre, rattling the woodwork. And Netherlands, within about 2 minutes of conceding that goal, have gone close to scoring 2 more goals. The score would have been level if they could have finished off those chances. But that doesn't matter. With 15 minutes remaining, they still trail 4-2 here. And it's going to be 3 changes then for the Netherlands. And if I can see, it's Brun Larsen who looks to be coming on. Didn't quite make out the rest of them, but it will be Brun Larsen, the striker then, along with 2 other substitutes. Sorry, not Brun Larsen. That's the Netherlands. That's the Denmark substitutes. Wout Weghorst, it looks like, will be coming on as well. And Danjuma. Wout Weghorst, fresh off his move from Burnley. Done really well there. Really made the Premier League his home. I didn't quite catch the last substitute, but that will be Danjuma and Wout Weghorst coming on. Will that be before or after a Netherlands' 3rd goal? Tried to play it forward to Kasper Dolberg from Mahaley, couldn't. However, the field might have broken, but gets across well there to clears it. But Denmark still win the ball back. Højbjerg hooks it to Christian Eriksen, who is nearby. It's now gone to Nelson. Plays it forward to Christiansen, the right back. He's more centre, the right back, but he's more centre midfield. Now Olsen looks to take on Blind, driving forward, driving into the box, finds a little bit, opens his body, finds a little bit of space. And the cross, it was a poor cross. It actually might have gone out for a goal kick. Yes, it did. Done really well, Olsen, since coming on as a substitute in the first half. Every time he's got the ball, he's looked to drive forward. He's really caused problems for Netherlands and Daley Blind. But he just hasn't had that finishing touch today. But he did get the assist though for Ericsson. But, he's had a lot of crosses and you really hoped he could have done more. So the first substitutions then, it's Nathan Ake who's going to come off for Malaysia. Bergwijn looking to the bench. It might be him. It's Memphis Depay who will be the second substitute. And he will be coming off, I assume, for one of Danjuma or Wout Weghorst. It will be Danjuma. Wout Weghorst not coming on. Sorry, I got that wrong. It is Danjuma and it's also Marlon who will be coming on as well for, you assume, Steven Bergwijn. That gives them a new front two. That's what you'd assume. Let's see if that's how it works out. I didn't quite catch who came off. I think it was Steven Bergwijn because Bergwijn is still on the pitch. So that's a straight trot then. The front two coming off for Marlon and Danjuma. And in the midst of that, Denmark have gone to a back four then. But just as that, Marlon breaking around the left-hand side, he's going to try and break into the box. He's got a lot of time. Crosses that ball in. It's dealt with well, though. There's no one on the edge of the box for Netherlands. And now Denmark look to break. Dolberg trying to make something happen, trying to get away from Dumfries and co. However, he couldn't, and the ball was ended all the way back up at the Denmark goalkeeper. And there was a substitution, as I was saying, for Denmark. Denmark going to a back four then. It looks like it was Vestergaard who came off for... I wasn't quite sure who it was. Might be Brun Larsen who he came off for. But they can't score if they haven't got the ball. It's Bergwijn. Curling spray out to Dumfries on the right-hand side, who goes back inside to the lit, who's always been there. The ball playing centre-back. Cooper Myers, who's had a great game today, done everything that's been asked of him. Him and De Ligt have controlled the midfield so far this evening. They've got 30 minutes to continue to do that. De Jong tried to flick it into the court, into Bergwijn, couldn't. And it's going to be a foul to Netherlands, who ought to play it quickly into the feet of Marlon. But once again, they end up going back. Denmark not letting them go forward, not letting them break away. But Denmark win the ball back. It's a loose touch by Ericsson. And Netherlands want to have the ball again then. It's a lovely little bit of skill from Frankie de Jong. Looks to play it forward and then ends up dragging the ball back. Plays it to Cooper Myers. And the ball's now ended up out. All the way out to Malaysia. It's now Daley Blind, who looks to have moved into that centre-back position. And Malaysia maybe is now playing in a left wing-back. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. But right now, that looks as if that is the way it's going. Now it's sprayed all the way out to Malaysia then, who's got a little bit of time. Denmark get across well, but he's cut inside beautifully. Tries to find Bergwijn on the edge of the box. However, he fires high and wide. No trouble there. All the way into Rosie. Cassius Michael was going to opt for the short free kick then. Anderson and Nelson were his options, but he's opted for Nelson, who's going to bring the ball out slowly. Netherlands bodies around him. Great shielding there from Kasper Dolberg, and he's won a free kick. Højbjerg plays it quickly. Plays out wide to Olsen, who's then gone back to Christiansen. And now back in their own half. Anderson goes back up wide to Christensen again, plays backwards to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who goes forward to Christensen, then gets the favour back and goes to Højbjerg. And now onto the left, gone back to Christian Eriksen, who's up kind of a bit more of a deep forward. That's a lovely pick out. There's a little bit of space, but he's had to turn back. The ball's just a little bit behind him there, and that's a great ball. Dolberg, loose first touch, over Olsen's got there. It's Højbjerg back into Olsen, centre of the pitch. Lovely ball into Dolberg, but it's well stuffed out by Malaysia, who's done really well there to win the ball back. A stretching leg, or otherwise Dolberg wouldn't have been in there, and Denmark could have nicked a goal back. And now Netherlands on the break. Danjuma, not really much to go. He wasn't eager to drive forward. Wasn't really much space to drive forward into, and there wasn't really a pass on. And he ended up going backwards, and Netherlands will control the ball once again in their own half. Blind out to Malaysia, who's then played a wonderful ball in to Marlon. However, he is offside, went a bit early. Denmark will regather themselves and hope they can find 2 goals in 10 minutes, but that's looking like a high order so far in this game. But they threatened more in the second half. They really have. In the first half, apart from the goal they scored, they didn't really create much. They had a lot of the ball, but there wasn't really much creativity with that. However, it's been a different Denmark side. The substitutions of Olsen and Ericsson and Christiansen at right back definitely helped. Driving forward, and now they've played the left back in here. He's going to drive forward, but Dumfries has done really well to defend it. Has he lost it? He has. They've won the ball back. The ball nearly deflected out to Christian Eriksen, but it's well cleared by Cooper Myers, and it's controlled before going out for a throw-in, and Netherlands have got the ball back. That was great defending by Cooper Myers, or as the ball would have gone to Christian Eriksen as it deflected to him. Reacted well, controlled it, and cleared it. Netherlands are always looking for the out ball. They never just clear it. The Netherlands are always looking for that pass, always looking to play out. Louis van Gaal stealing a great methodology in them in the short time that he has been their manager. It's a throw-in. It's a loose throw-in. And Anderson will drive it forward. And it's another loose touch by Christian Eriksen and then brings down Neves Piper Cooper Myers. He's going to drive forward here. Out strength Anderson. Milicia out to Daley Blind. Now they're just really happy to slow this game down. The 2-goal lead. There's no need to rush. There's no need to force things. It's been a great game management from them since they conceded that goal early on in the second half when you thought that Denmark could be staging a comeback. And if the Netherlands do hold on to win this game, this will be their first win. That's a great ball in, and there's just a bit too long, and Schmeichel comes out and collects it. This will be their first win in an international friendly. That'll be their 4th win out of their last 12 friendly matches on home soil since June 2015. That's a poor pass, and there might be a clash of heads here. The referee is going to stop it. It's Dumfries. That looked like a nasty clash of heads. The referee was straight onto it. Both of the players rolling around. I think it was Dumfries and Mahaley. Yeah, nasty clash of heads. Dumfries heading straight into the side of Markley. Let's see. Hopefully both players are okay, because that was very nasty. But as I was saying, Denmark, they a loss today will see them extend their winless run in friendly matches to 14 games, extending since 2013. How a team can lose friendly matches but then win in competitive matches on the road is very confusing to me. It really is. I don't know how that happens. And then it is Mahaley who looks in severe comfort. Dumfries is back on his feet and he looks okay. But Mahaley is he looks in severe discomfort. It was him who got the brunt of the clash as Dumfries, in an attempt to go for the ball, headed straight into the head of Mahaley. The Denmark bench looking around. 6 changes made so far for them. Dumfries is okay, definitely. Let's just see if Mahaley's okay. Hopefully he gets back to his feet soon. Nasty clash of heads there. Really was nasty. He's still down in the comfort. It's down the ground here in some severe discomfort. Hopefully he's okay to carry on, but with the concussion protocols, he might not be able to. This will be, and if the Netherlands, who look like they will likely hold on today, this will be their 5th win at home in a row. And they've scored at least twice in each of those. They've amassed 18 goals in total, which is an incredible statistic, and there's a reason why they've scored 4 goals today. Now, Kasper Schmeichel has gone over to Mahaley and the medical staff and has run back over to the bench. Mahaley, his head is up. He's back to his feet, I think he will be, when his body's up off the ground. He's sitting down now, sitting upright, which is really good news. Some of the Denmark fans, they look like they might be on their way home in Mahaley as Bach was getting in the first half, getting the bandage treatment, getting the band wrapped around him. Denmark fan sitting with a Netherlands fan, and maybe it looks like he will be okay to carry on then, if concussion protocols allows him to. With 4 minutes going into this finish then, and with the game pretty much wrapped up, it'd probably be right to look at our man of the match then, and it could be many people. Steven Bergwijn with the 2 goals. Frankie de Jong has played a really good game. He's been the orchestra in the midfield today. All the energy, everything has come through him. But due to the 2 goals, it has to go to Steven Bergwijn, doesn't it? He's been the difference maker today. And with his 2 goals, he is the reason that Netherlands are winning this game. But there have been many fantastic performances around the clock and around the pitch today for both Denmark and Netherlands. Denmark may be losing 2-1, 4-2, but they've played really well today. Olsen, he can be really proud of himself, played really well, changed the game. So has Christensen in the right wing-back position. Lindstrom, when he was on the pitch, had a really, really solid game as well. So great performances on both sides and some really encouraging performances as we go into the World Cup in October. And it is Mahaley. He is back on his feet. He is walking. They are going to make a substitution, however. It is going to be number 17, and that will be Billing, who is the Bournemouth midfielder. So they're going to go attacking here. I don't know if Billing can play left wing back, but maybe they're just going to remove that position for now. We're just 3 minutes going and play Billing in the midfield. But the Bournemouth defender will be coming on to see out the final 3 minutes of this game at the Johan Cruyff Arena. And it will be a drop ball situation then. Billing not ready just yet, so Denmark will have to play the next 2 minutes with just 10 men. And it's Netherlands who will receive the ball. And on the way we go here after that little bit of stoppage, and they're inside their own half now, Netherlands. They'll take a goal if they can find it. However, they'll be pretty happy. And Billing might not be coming on then. He's getting his coat back on the substitute bench. Mahaney might be able to carry on, or they might be choosing to play the last 10 minutes, or he could just be keeping warm until the ball goes out of play. And it will just be a case of managing this game at the moment then for Netherlands. They've managed this, like I said before, since Christian Eriksen scored his first goal on return. They've been really, really good at managing the game well. However, they could be on the break here. Kasper Dolberg controls it well after a pass on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Gets it around the corner to Christensen on the right-hand side in their own half. Does really well to Norgård. Find him a little bit of space. Norgård, he's got Christian Eriksen to his left. Doesn't find him. Has ended up going backwards to Christiansen. And the Denmark centre-backs will control the ball. It's Mahaley who had the ball, and he's played it all the way back out to Christiansen. And Anderson just coming forward a little bit. Doesn't even get any Netherlands players out of control. But again, they go backwards here. There's not a lot of the Netherlands players, and the Netherlands defence aren't really giving much away. As Denmark are increasingly frustrated. And that third goal has just eluded them in this second half. They've had opportunities. Christian Eriksen hitting the bar. And Christiansen from about 6 yards out. The angle was narrow, but all it needed was in the cross for a Denmark body to touch it, and we could have been level here. Once again, Christiansen playing to Olsen. We've seen that link up really well. Who comes back inside to Højbjerg, who finds Christian Eriksen just in the centre of the box. He might go for the shot, doesn't. And they tried to get it out to Olsen, but couldn't. But Denmark still retain possession here with the right back. Now it comes to Norgård, who then tried to play it to Dolberg, but I think he done with him too well. The eyes pointing one way. Dolberg didn't have a clue, and Netherlands retain possession. They're trying to escape. 6 minutes added on time, then we will have. That will obviously be for the clash of heads between Dumfries and Mahaley. They have Mahaley down on the floor for some time. And it's sprayed out wide from the Netherlands goalkeeper to Mauricia. Who cuts back inside. He's just going to look for the easy pass here. No need to risk anything. No need to do anything stupid now with the final 5 minutes of this game. De Jong, though, always looking to pass forward. He's been wonderful to watch today. And that's Marlon out on the left-hand side. Going to try and get past Olsen here. Tries a few in and out, doesn't, but finds Milicia really well. However, it's a poor pass from Milicia as he tried to cut in, pass inside and couldn't find it. And it's come to Højbjerg, turns well in tight space. Then it's played out to Dahlberg, who does really well, really strong. And it's going to be a foul to Denmark. Daley Blind, the culprit there. And it's a foul inside Denmark's own half. And they'll probably play it short. They'll probably go back to their centre-backs and see what they can do from there. And what will both managers take from this game then? Well, you've got to think both teams will be very pleased with how they've played. Netherlands have played some really good football at time, going back to the Netherlands of old, and that's been really, really good to see. If they can do that on a more consistent basis, that is the challenge for the Dutch team and Louis van Gaal's side as they approach the World Cup this winter. As for Denmark then, well, they know what they're capable of. They know their identity. Today, they've played okay, but maybe they just lacked that bit of quality in the end. But here we go. It's Christiansen. Sprays it out wide to Olsen, who's going to try and cut inside. Does really well. And he might go for the shot here. Does go for the shot. Goes inside. That's a really good save by Flekken. And it was a real slow shot, but I think Flekken was probably blinded by the amount of bodies in the middle because he didn't get across quickly. It was a real slow shot, but that's a real good fingertip save. It might have been going wide. Flekken couldn't be sure. And for safety purposes, put it out for a corner. It's going to be a ball in here by Christian Eriksen with about 4 minutes left. Can they get a consolation goal or can they get a goal that might inspire a Steven Bergwijn-esque comeback? 2 goals in 2 minutes. Christian Eriksen whips it in. It's a good ball onto the head of Vestergaard, but it's cleared away by Netherlands defender. Can they retain possession in their own box? Hustling Netherlands, but however, Denmark do keep it. 4 minutes here. It's Norgard looking for the pass, looking forward. Can't find it. Globazak to Nelson. I think Netherlands here. Denmark still playing with 10 men here, it seems like. Which is really interesting. They haven't decided to make the substitution on Philip Billing. Maybe not to risk him for the final 3 minutes. And back in the own half we go then. Birmingham pen a really positive ball forward though. It was a bit shy of Kasper Dolberg. It deflected off a Netherlands player and Denmark have it back in their own half. Well in their own half. And the ball was now in the back up at Kasper Schmeichel. A real waste of an opportunity considering the position they were in about a minute ago. Kasper Schmeichel goes to the ball forward. Tries to play it. But it's a flick on. And it goes straight to the Netherlands players, who can now try and hold the ball for the remaining couple of minutes. However, that's a really poor pass. And Denmark get the ball straight back. Bit of frustration from the Netherlands bench. They move 4-2 up. However, that doesn't mean they want the standards to drop. Christian Eriksen, really cute ball in a 1-2. And now it's back out to Christian, who's playing a bit more central now. Len Olsen had the roam at the right-hand side. And Olsen, once again, is going to try and drive inside. Gets the better of Milicia. Has a bit of room, crosses it in. But it's really well dealt with there by De Ligt. But the header comes straight up to Milicia. Passes the first time to Eriksen, and then it's a poor pass. Milicia will try to outstrength Christiansen. He does do that, and now it's a Netherlands corner. 4 minutes and 15 seconds played of injury time. Christian Eriksen, once again, his corners really having trouble, people. He's only had 2. 1 good delivery, 1 poor delivery. Let's see what he can do here with a minute and a half remaining. Eriksen goes short instead out to Olsen, who's going to have a bit of time, bit of space to cross the ball in. Gone for the back post. It's headed and it is a goal. However, it's been a foul, a push back. It was Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with the goal. However, the referee deemed that it was a foul in the build-up to that header. And Netherlands do not get that third goal. I think it was a push as Pierre-Emile Højbjerg went to get the header. It was a ball in by Olsen towards the back left-hand post. Virgil van Dijk jumped. Højbjerg pushed. And then a header did go in to Flekken's near post. However, the referee straight away decided that that was a push and the goal will not stand. I don't know whether they're checking VAR for this. Maybe. Or the referee will play on. There's nothing really happening so far. The referee raised play on. And VAR have decided that there was a push in the back. And that should pretty much see it out then. With 30 seconds left. Netherlands are just going to play it around the back. Again, they tried to go on to the attack, but they will just see this game out. It's pass it around the centre-backs. De Jong once again going forward with the ball. How many times have I said how much I've enjoyed watching him today? Still, the Netherlands forwards making runs in between the channels. But the Netherlands reluctant to force anything. Just happy to see this game out. And I think so are Denmark now. As I say that, Olsen presses the ball. These are professional footballers. They're never happy to admit defeat. And that is the full-time whistle there. Netherlands continue their streak at home and they continue their brilliant form since September. 4-2 winners today. They deserved it in every department. Their class in the end really showed. But the story of today is Christian Eriksen with his first goal on return for Denmark since his cardiac in July. First goal, first game back, first goal. It's a brilliant story as the Netherlands fans wave around the Johan Cruyff Arena. But once again, it's all about Christian Eriksen. A brilliant moment for him. He deserves it, and he still hasn't lost his quality. Netherlands, though, today, they run out 4-2 winners. They can thank 2 goals to Steven Bergwijn today, who is my man of the match. He was brilliant. Though Frankie de Jong was also the orchestra in the midfield. However, and he was the difference. It's our full-time here. It's Netherlands 4, Denmark 2.
Thank you very much there, Josh, and great coverage of that friendly there between the Netherlands and Denmark as well. Of course, the Netherlands were 3-1 up at half-time. Bergwijn, Ake and Depay on the score sheet. Vestergaard, obviously scoring for Denmark. And then Christian Eriksen came on off the bench. It was only 2 minutes or so after entering the field of play that Christian Eriksen was on the score sheet once again. And what a fairy tale that is for him, as I'm sure he probably dreamt of that last night. And obviously coming on off the bench and within 2 minutes, got his side back into this game. It wasn't to be because obviously Steven Bergwijn grabbed another goal as well and made sure of the victory for the Netherlands there, who ran out 4-2 winners in the end. But as Josh just said there, you know, the day or the night or whatever you want to say has to go to Christian Eriksen. You know, Steven Bergwijn for Netherlands, of course, had a lot of say on this game, but Christian Eriksen come on and he was on the pitch for just a matter of minutes, and then he was back on the score sheet again as well, wasn't he, Josh? And what a beautiful sight that was to see.
Yeah, it was wonderful to see. It's a magical moment, and it's why we love football, to be greatly honest with you. I should have probably given my man a match to Christian Eriksen, but there we go. And to see him still have that quality, because after his cardiac arrest, there are always going to be questions over his fitness and also questions over whether he'll still be able to play at the same level that he did. And he still did that. And that's so good to see. You know, even at Brentford, he's still been able to pick out those balls that he would for Tottenham and Inter Milan and Ajax as well. And that finish was just pure Christian Eriksen quality, but it just wasn't the goal. He hit the ball as well, and he changed the game for Denmark today. And it's really good to see that he still has that effect and he's still got that quality. So if I could change my man of the match, I would, but it does go to Steven Bergwijn, who was really good today as well.
Yeah, 100% I have to agree that Steven Bergwijn was fantastic for the Netherlands. And, you know, I think just for today, we should probably have 2 player of the matches or 2 man of the matches. One for having a big difference in terms of the scoreline, but also one for having an impact on the game in the way that Christian Eriksen did as well.
Yeah, if we can do that, if we can cheat the system like that, we can. But yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, for Netherlands, I think it easily could have been Frankie de Jong today. He didn't score a goal, but he was incredible, and you can really see the effect that Xavi is having on him at Barcelona. He's always been like that, don't get me wrong, but just the quickness in that play, you know, he's always looking to go forward. He's just playing on a different level today, and he was brilliant. So yes, he maybe wasn't the difference maker, but he was incredible today. He was untouchable in that midfield, and Xavi is really taking his game to the next level with Barcelona.
Yeah, 100%. And sort of, you know, when you look at this Netherlands side, obviously there's plenty of quality in this side, you know, from the starting lineup to the bench as well. Obviously, you know, the likes of Steven Bergwijn, obviously Memphis Depay, obviously, as well as the, you know, Donyell Malen, obviously Bergwijn. You know, they've got some real talented players in this ranks, sort of the Netherlands here as well. You know, without even going to the likes of Wijnaldum, who remained on the bench as well. So they're certainly in good stead, aren't they? The Dutch national side at the minute.
It depends what, you know, Netherlands team is going to turn up. they're very much inconsistent. They proved that in the Euros and they proved that with their World Cup qualifying form. They're very much up and down. If you get the Netherlands team that is on their day, they are probably the best team in Europe right now. If you catch a Netherlands team that are off, they can be beat by anyone. And that means anyone. Obviously Czech Republic are a really good side, but they're poor when they're poor, but they're amazing when they're amazing. And today they were incredible. Hopefully they're going to start bringing a bit more consistency into their side now. Since September, they have been pretty much consistent. As I mentioned, 17 points from 21 games. That's really, really good form. So since that defeat in the Euros, it really seems like it's given them a kick. Seems like it's really made them butt their ideas up and they've been able to play good football and good football at all times. And it's all about peaking at the right time. And it feels like this Netherlands team are peaking at the right time. If you look at Italy, they're undefeated in 50 matches before their European Championships win. I've got a feeling this Netherlands side could be on the same sort of level. They're peaking at the right time. They're playing some really good football. Let's see if they can sustain that in time for November. But they're in a much better place than they were before the European Championships.
Yeah, I have to agree with that as well. And obviously, you mentioned the Italians just then as well. And of course, they're not going to be at the World Cup, having lost to North Macedonia in midweek. And that was a big shock as well. And, something that, will certainly play into the likes of Netherlands' hands.
It definitely will. I think it will play for anyone's hands who are hoping to win that World Cup, whether you're Argentina, Brazil, European teams. It does. As for the Italy result, that was kind of a fluke result. But again, it's why we love football. It's magical. It's a fairy tale. But they'll look at that Italy result and think, this is our tournament to win. Equally, for teams on a similar level like North Macedonia, they'll also look at that and think, you know what? Each team I can get at, and I think that is the case for this tournament that's upcoming. Each team has their weaknesses. We haven't really got a team right now in the past, like your Germanys and Spains, who are just dominant and will wipe the floor with anyone. These minnows of the teams, I'm thinking like Canada's, your Ecuador's, teams like that, they could easily go out and beat a European team. They could beat an Argentina and Brazil because neither side is dominant. So this is actually one of the most open World Cups we've had in many, many years because each team has their weakness. And that is a really, really exciting prospect come November. So it works both ways. The Giants, they're going to be equally happy to see Italy out. But also the minnows and the times, the underdogs, they're going to be looking at that result and thinking, you know what? We can beat any of these. If North Macedonia can beat the European champions, we can beat any of these European or South American teams because they're not that special.
Yeah, and of course, North Macedonia have got Portugal next in the finals as well. And of course, they've already beaten Germany as well. They gave Italy, I think they got a draw in Italy as well. It might have been earlier this year or last year. So, they're a side that Portugal have to be wary of as well when it comes down to Tuesday's match, I should say.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be commentating on or reporting on the Portugal-Austria match Portugal-Turkey match on Thursday. And it was really good to get a good look at Portugal because it's like with all that quality, how did they end up in the qualifying round? And the standout weakness of Portugal is how up and down they are in a match. They're so hot and cold. One moment they score, and then they just let Turkey dominate the ball, and they seem to just switch off. And Turkey had a lot of, they didn't really create much in that game, Turkey, in that first half, but they were dangerous. And then they got their second goal, and then Turkey got that first goal. And they pretty much dominated in the second half. Portugal, they didn't really get a lot of the ball. They didn't really create much. And Turkey, Portugal got lucky. Yilmaz missing that penalty that would have taken it to extra time. And I think if it had gone extra time, Turkey would have run out winners in that game. So Portugal at the moment, it just seems like they don't really know how to play as a unit. They rely on individual moments of quality to get themselves through. So North Macedonia are going to take a lot of confidence from that game against Italy. Again, it was a fluke result. Italy were dominant for 90 minutes. Let that be said. It wasn't like North Macedonia, really took the chainsaw to Italy or, gave them a game. They were outplayed in every single aspect. They just got a bit lucky. But, that shows Portugal cannot switch off in that game, whereas Macedonia do have the quality to punish you. That said, for that game, you feel like Portugal's quality will just drive them through. They have a bit more of an individual quality than Italy.
Yeah, and I was looking at the stats as well, obviously, on that game on Thursday. And, you're right to mention that the Italians were dominant apart from the result. It was something like, I believe, 32 shots on goal for the Italians. And the North Macedonian defence were just able to stand up to it. And if you're able to stand up to it, then, you're always in a game, aren't you? And when you come into the final stages, you've always got that opportunity to put yourself, so the opportunities will come for you, I should say. And if you take one of those, if you defend that well, then yeah, you pretty much deserve your place, really.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's the key thing, isn't it? Really, with these games, these knockout games, is you got to defend well. You can't be leaking goals left, right, and centre. Otherwise, you're not going to win it. You don't want to be in a shootout. And what North Macedonia did, and I wouldn't even say it was luck, really. Like Italy didn't create too much. They weren't really, they created chances, but there wasn't any glaring chances, I don't think, because they do lack that striking presence. So North Macedonia are really good defensively, and I guess they did what they set out to do, and they got one chance, and they took that one chance. You'd assume that's going to be their game plan for Portugal next time when they face, and why change that? It clearly works. Be solid defensively, and if they can do that, that will give themselves an opportunity to try and nick one of the dying embers of the game.
And before we just wrap things up with a final bit of on this game here, we've got to touch on England. Of course, 1-2-1 earlier on against the Switzerland, of course, and Switzerland side. Sorry, of course, and Bolo scoring for Switzerland, and then obviously a wonderful goal from Luke Shaw to equalise just before half time, and then Harry Kane scoring to equal Bobby Charlton's tally as well, and then obviously that being England's 100th successful penalty conversion as well, converted penalty, sorry, I should say, as well. So Harry Kane, obviously, it's a top player, grabs another goal and is only one away from beating that record out right now, of course, with the Ivory Coast to come on Tuesday, and you wouldn't bet against him doing that.
Yeah, he is an incredible player, Harry Kane, and he seems to just get better with age. And it's his overall game as a striker that's been incredible. Wayne Rooney, what he had, it was expected. That was sort of the player he was. But for Harry Kane, for a striker, Wayne Rooney's more of a cam. Obviously, he did play striker in his early career, but as he got already played, came to cam. But for a striker, what Harry Kane can do, if he's scoring goals or assisting them, is incredible, and that is something that England that separates England. He's the difference for England sometimes, and having a penalty taker like Harry Kane, who is pretty much guaranteed to score every time he takes up the spot, is huge going into tournaments. He will score. He won't let you down. That being said, he did miss his penalty against Denmark, but he got lucky with the rebound. So yeah, he will go on to break that record. He is deserved to break that record. As for the England team as a whole, then it was really nice to see some youngsters get on the pitch. Mitchell got the second half guy. He also got to play the whole game. Carl Walker-Peters as well, and right back, really good to see. Conor Gallagher. There's some real good talent across the board for England, and that was really good to see today on show. The performance was okay. You do get a sense with England they're getting a bit of a European Championship final defeat hangover a bit, and that's expected. But they're bringing in new faces. We're in good hands. Even if this old generation goes out, this new generation is just as good. And let's hope, as we all are, we're all, we're meant to stay neutral here, but we all are fans of England. We're all English. Let's hope that come the World Cup, they can go that step further this time. As I said, it's very open, so there's no reason why they can't.
And just finally wrapping it up on this game, of course, Netherlands 4-2 victors over Denmark. We kind of touched on Netherlands quite a lot, and obviously we touched on Denmark a little bit with Christian Eriksen there and him coming back and scoring. But as a whole for Denmark, where can they go when it comes down to the World Cup as well? Because, of course, in the Euros, they were, one of the sides who surprised a lot of people.
They can reach the final. There's no reason why not. They're ranked 9th in the world, so that shows you that they are the 9th best team in the world. The World Cup qualifying, they nearly got 4 points. They nearly won every single game. It was the nothing game against Scotland for them. Obviously, it was a massive game for Scotland, in which they lost. So they can get to the final and they can win it. They're as good as everyone on their day. The good thing about, they remind me a lot of Leicester. Last year's Leicester. They're very balanced. They're a balanced team, and I think it's very underappreciated how good a balanced side can be. And that's what Denmark have. I do think that what they lack and what the difference will be for them is their individual quality. Apart from a player like Christian Eriksen, they lack a player with flair. They lack a player that will just turn the game on, that these big teams have, these big nations have. However, on balance, they can win it. So if they get it right, if they peak at the right time, they can go all the way. There's no reason like that. And again, that's shown with the fact they are the 9th best team in the world.
Okay, Josh, thank you very much for that. And of course, thank you for covering this game as well for your first TC Hub game, Netherlands against Denmark. And great way for you to start your TC Hub journey as well with a 6-goal thriller there.
Yeah, it seems, whatever game I commentating on, I normally get a lot of goals. So I'll stick around. Hopefully we'll get a lot more goals here.
I'm sure that's certainly going to be the case. And that was a very thoroughly enjoyable listen, that one. And really,
thank you for having me as well. Appreciate
it. Cracking job, mate. Very well done.
So thank you. Again, good hosting from you.
Cheers, mate. We're going to wrap it up there now. Of course, the Netherlands 4-2 winners over Denmark. Of course, the story of the night, though, as I mentioned, has to go to Christian Eriksen. Was named on the substitutes bench for Denmark today. Come on, and within 2 minutes or so, he's on the score sheet. And as I said, that's something I'm sure he dreamt of last night. And football is a wonderful game, and that's exactly why Christian Eriksen suffered, a cardiac arrest, of course, on Euro duty last summer, and he's come back into the fold for Denmark, and within a couple of minutes has grabbed himself a goal. Obviously now he's at Brentford as well when playing his trade over in the Premier League. And what a beautiful touch that was. Christian Eriksen coming on and having such a big impact on this game. The Netherlands have won the friendly by 4 goals to 2, with Steven Bergwijn grabbing a brace, but the night has to belong, I should say, to Christian Eriksen.